What is going on, everybody? Every single time I hear that little intro I put together, I just love it. And it's the countdown, 5 minutes. The music starts off nice and calm, but then right at that 1 minute marker, just right around it, it just jumps right in. And that's what I love to do. We're jumping right into our live stream today. I was going to stream on Tuesday, but I said, let's do Thursday this time around because Trump is going to be speaking on Thursday, and I am excited for it. So shout out to everybody pulling up in the chat. I want to give a huge shout out to Logan Jason. He says first. Bobby G, he says third. Shout out to everybody pulling up. We got, Erica says the crumpets are arriving. I love it. Crumpets. Somebody says free thinkers. I think we should use both of those names because I've been calling you guys free thinkers for like a year now. And then crumpets. I'm liking that. Crumpets. That's cute. Let's keep it up. Shout out to Bill Clinton pulling up in the chat. He was with us last time around. That is fun. That is fun. OG Rain says, it's been a long time since this channel has appeared on my recommended. Has it? Because I'm not surprised. YouTube does not like me on the recommended. They do every single thing they can to keep me off the recommended. Twitter doesn't like me. Facebook doesn't like me. Instagram doesn't like me. Big Tech does not like Chandler Crump. But I know you guys do. And if you do like me and the live stream, then make sure you hit the like button on our live stream. Today, we're going to be live reacting to Trump's speech, as it says right there. And we already have it pulled up on this page over here. Let me fully zoom into that. So that's going to be good. When we go on, it's going to be fantastic. I'm very excited for this. He should be starting relatively soon in about 9 minutes or so. I don't know. It could be later. Trump speaks when Trump speaks, and we're all there for it. I'm going to try not to commentate too much over Trump, but I am going to make the stream interesting. So I may make a couple jokes, a couple references, all that good stuff that keeps you guys engaged while still letting you hear the man you came to see, President Trump. Because I know you guys didn't come to see me, Chandler Crump. That's just, that's not it. Come on. That's not it. Somebody says the speakers were on high. Oh, Lunatic Liberal. Shout out to Lunatic Liberal. He or she, I'm not going to assume your gender, has been with us for a long time. So they says, I love that. Just woke me up, lol. Speakers were on high. I think he or she, that's so hard to not assign somebody a gender. I just realized that. Says they were, or is talking about the little intro I had before that. Somebody says, I think I'm sick. I caught VOI, virus of intelligence. I'd rather catch VOI than COVID, that's for sure. Somebody says, stay cool. Yeah, shout out to you all pulling up. Make sure you hit that like button. We're going to be getting things started soon. As you can see, we have Right Side Broadcasting Network ready for us to be watching the Trump speech that is happening in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. I think that's how you pronounce it, Latrobe or Latrobe. I'm not quite sure, but what I do know is that it's going to be an amazing speech. He had a speech a couple days ago as well, which I'm going to be, well, it was a great speech. We have the not the Democratic debates, but the presidential debates coming up just in about a few days, or I think like 2 weeks from now on the 28th. That's going to be fun. I'm going to be live streaming that. So I want to tell you guys all to be sure to go there for that. It's going to be amazing. We all thought that Biden against Trump would not happen, but like after all this has happened, especially with them announcing it, there's no way Biden can back out of any of this. There's no way. Big Bird says just subbed. I actually want to give a big thanks to all you guys who tuned in with us for the Republican National Convention. As you know, I streamed the Democratic National Convention just about 2 weeks ago exactly, and then last week I was streaming the Republican National Convention, and now we have this rally. There's just thing after thing after thing. It just doesn't stop. Trump is a very busy man with the RNC. That speech was amazing. Actually, I have a little screenshot if I have the fireworks up, but it was an amazing. It was an amazing thing that happened at the end of the RNC, because at the end of the DNC it was just like it was radio silence. We heard a lot, but not that much. But after the RNC, we saw a ton of fireworks. We were all happy about that. I know I was happy about that. It almost brought me to tears. If you guys want to go back and watch those live streams later on, after this live stream, preferably, you can. But I had a lot of fun with that. Actually, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's pulling up from my Instagram. I was just live over there and I posted to my story. I actually have to post it to my feed, so give me a second to do that. Thank you all so much for filing in here, though. And if you haven't, make sure you hit that like button. Somebody says, get that like number all the way up. Actually, let me check what that's at. I have not even looked. Let me go into the live studio here. Where is it? Or I'll just go to this. This will work. See how many likes because we got up high. We got like 300 last time. We're already at 82. Shout out to everybody throwing those likes up in the air. Oh yeah, you guys can throw some questions in the chat before the speech gets started. Mason asks, what state are you in? I am in the great free state of Georgia, and I say free because it's been doing pretty good in terms of the coronavirus. We haven't had a lot just thrown at us. We've been able to take care of things at our own pace, have our own choices, and that's been amazing. So yeah, Mr. Spock says he can back out if he all of a sudden gets corona and has to hide back in the basement. I would not be surprised if right around the debates are supposed to start, he's like, oh, I have actually become infected with the coronavirus and I cannot participate in the debates. My apologies, but not really not actually like apologies though. Like, just yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. We all know Joe Biden can't do it. Like, have you guys seen him for the last few months? This guy is not healthy, not whatsoever. It's been 100% elder abuse. This man is not in the right state of mind to be running for office, and yet nobody cares. We're just running him to run him, right? Like, Joe Biden has been accused of sexual assault on Secret Service wives and girlfriends while VP. I'm not one to always be talking about sexual assault accusations. I think that was the word. Or yeah, accusations is the word I was looking for. But it is definitely something because, and I say that because I'm not trying to have like a double standard. Trump's been accused of sexual assault by like 30 women, and then 30 of those women recused themselves for it. But I'm not one to talk about it, but Joe Biden's just seem a lot more credible, especially with Tara Reid. Whatever happened to Tara Reid, right? She like disappeared from the scene. Totally unrelated, but somebody asked what my favorite color is. My favorite color is green. I love green. Green's a great color. We're going all over the place on this stream, but that's what I love about these streams. You guys just bring it. You guys make it fun. You guys are in the chat always talking about whatever you want to talk about, and that's what I love to do. You guys are showing up with your support, and it's amazing. Somebody says, don't forget to join up on our Discord. There's the link. Oh, that's actually Bobby. And Bobby's one of our new moderators, but we have a permanent link, and I'm going to throw that one in the chat for you guys. I don't know about that one. So if you are trying to join the Discord, then be sure to use this link. Let me throw it in the chat for you guys. We have an official channel Discord where we have all sorts of discussions. We have debate. We have a very active music chat, almost so active that I had to make 2 extra music chats for that one music chat because, well, people don't like all the same music. But anyways, I digress. There's the main Discord right there. Be sure to join it. It's an amazing place. We have a lot of great conversations, and I'm in there as often as I can. Somebody asks when I turned 16. I turned 16 on the 15th, so kind of confusing there. But yes, I turned 15 in just like a couple weeks or so, just a little bit before the debate. So the debates will be kind of like my birthday gift. I'm actually planning to do a live stream right on my birthday on the first day I turned 16. It's not 2019 anymore. It's 2020. On the first day I turned 16, because I believe that is when a Trump speech is going to happen. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to double check that one, but we're going to be doing a live stream right on my birthday, October Scorpio. Tripping over my words again. I did not grab a drink. I'm very irresponsible. I don't treat myself well as a streamer. He says, what up, Chandler? I love all you guys that are like tuning in back to back to all those streams. I recognize your names. Fabian was in one of our previous ones, I believe. Davlin, of course. She was there as well. Ellie Padilla was in there. Sean McCrossan. I was just talking to Sean, actually. He's a great guy. Shout out to all you guys pulling up. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you hit that like button. Trump's speech will be starting very soon, actually. I'll show you this in a second. I'm actually going to unmute that so when he does speak, I don't have to go through here.
It's possible getting us to different rallies.
Okay, you can hear that, but I'm going to pull that out. Oh, actually, I have to mute it again because I cannot have that filtering through. Be sure to throw your questions and then I'll answer a few of them. Of course. My guy, Mark Miller, he's always showing up in the chat with the super chats. He says, time to show some love. Let's get it. Shout out to Mark Miller. He's been there from the very beginning. I have a lot of love for Mark. Great guy. He's like a surrogate grandfather to me. So definitely y'all throw up in the chat, prayers up, and thank you for the support to Mark. He's a great guy. We have nearly 100 people in here, which means, let's see how many likes we have. We have 108. Keep those likes coming, ladies and gentlemen. Those likes mean a lot. If you haven't already, make sure you share it to all your social media. And if I always have to say this because I love you guys from Instagram. If you are from Instagram, make sure you share that. Or what I need you to do is you grab your phone and you go to the little camera part on Instagram and you record a little bit of the speech. Or you take a picture, post that to your story, and then tag me right on it, and then I will repost it during the stream or after the stream if I get a little caught up in it. And you do that, and I'll repost it to my story, and it's gonna be great. It'll be amazing. Well, I need to find this thumbnail so I can post it to my Instagram. I need to get some people up in here. Hold on. Did you see the video where the woman would not ask a question off the paper the Joe Biden campaign gave them? I did not see that. But what I did see was that video where Biden was getting out of the car, and then there's this guy on a roof or a balcony or something. He says, "Hey, Joe, you're finally out the basement." It was the best thing ever. I like retweeted it. It was the funniest video I had ever seen. I might download it and just play it on stream because it was amazing. Yeah, I was like, I'm done. It was a guy, and he was like, "Joe, you're finally at the basement." It was hilarious. I'm gonna download it. You guys have to hear it. Give me just a second. It was the best video I had seen on Twitter in a long time. Let me throw it up on screen for you guys because it was the funniest thing. Somebody's phone is ringing, and always something going on. Let me throw
Media
this up on
networks
screen.
aren't covering. So if you like what you see here, you want to see more of it, and you want to help us kick some butt on November 3rd, donate to Right Side Broadcasting Network and help us get President Trump reelected. Help us keep America great again. I can hear the noise that makes me think that Air Force One is going to show up behind us any minute now. Keep an eye out for that. A couple more donations, and we have Laura Stepanian, Carol Hawley, Romy Surrey, Jason Bain, Karen Mountain.
This is why you don't leave your phone in the studio. That's a lesson. Or leave somebody else's phone in the studio. That's crazy. Hold on. Mandatory Carry sends a $1 super chat. And he didn't put any text on it, but shout out to Mandatory Carry. He's also very active in the chat. So big shout outs to him. I'm still trying to download this video here. I have to make sure it's not too big. Get it on there. Yep. All right. And you guys will hear it in it. It is the funniest thing. I might actually clip it and use it as one of our clips. I should actually mention this. I almost forgot. Anytime somebody says Joe Biden's name.
I got hairy legs. 30330.
And my personal favorite.
Go, you know the thing.
And I don't know if we'll have to use this one this much, but I'm going to try to use it as much as I can, is the fan favorite, the infamous, the notorious, the most popular, and the most well-known throughout the entire world of the crumpet free thinkers.
Billions.
One more time.
Billions.
One more time.
Billions.
You guys love it. I know you guys. I'm waiting to see the billions are going to start flooding into the chat. You guys always pull up and say billions in the chat. And I absolutely love it. Somebody says, are you guys ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready for this. This is going to be great. We have a few more sound bites that I play for Joe Biden, or Joe Biden / Trump is.
Oh, Sleepy Joe.
You got to love that one. Of course, whenever Kamala Harris is mentioned. Or they say something like, my sister, Kamala Harris. And then when we have another Kamala Harris. I hate that one so much, but somebody was in the chat like, bring that Ben Shapiro clip back, and I was like, all right. Oh, here's another Trump one that I like.
Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy.
Look at how high quality that is. Like, look at that image.
Go home to mommy.
Go home to mommy. Trump is just a savage, and that was before the presidency. Just look at him now. We have some more things from Biden.
And you ain't black.
Come on, man. It's not playing. That's weird. And then we have...
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Okay, I think this is...
And you ain't black.
Come on, Biden. You know better, man. You know better. Hold on, I was clicked off the chat. Billions, billions, and billions, and billions. Billions. Oh, wait, hold on.
Fired up.
We have...
President.
Oh, that's the press pool hopping off the plane. Irrelevant. Fake news, fake news. And then I think I have... Oh, somebody said, come on, man, I should have got that one. I quote that one so much, but I actually don't have it. That is not a good look. Not a good look. Oops, I'm moving this around, and I don't want to do that. There we go. I'm trying to get this video clip in here before Trump starts speaking. Come on, Chandler. You can do it. And boom. All right, now it's uploading, and I'm going to play this. It's the most hilarious clip I had ever seen. I might play a little bit more than I want, but it should be good. We'll get to play it for a few seconds before Trump says, need a Pelosi clip today. Ooh, that'd be a good idea. Throw some, like, what do you guys' ideas for, like, Pelosi clips to throw in there? That'd be really funny, actually. Okay, here's the clip.
Hey, Joe! You finally got out of the basement!
I don't know if you guys can hear it. Turn your volume up a little bit and then hear it.
Hey, Joe! You finally got out of the basement! Hey, Joe, who paid for the pizza? Thank you very much for bringing it. Hey, Joe, who paid? Somebody gave us steak! That's right, Joe! Don't jump!
Don't jump. What is that even supposed to mean? Did he think the guy was gonna harm himself or something? Because he'd be in jail. We have a little bit of a chat delay going on. I played that clip like a minute ago.
39,000. We love to see
Trump
it.
about to step out in moments. I'm gonna keep that over there, just ready. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. I think this speech is gonna be a good one. We haven't had a lot of speeches from Trump, so I bet he's got a lot of energy just stored up, waiting to unleash on all of us, and it's gonna be amazing. So one last reminder to everybody that is in here: make sure you hit the like button on our live stream here today. Let's see how many likes we have. We have 129. You guys think we can hit 200? I think we can hit 200. So we're gonna play or as billions of likes over and over again, all the way up there. I can't wait to see it. I still have to get this this thumbnail. Dang it, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm posting this to Instagram. Once the speech starts, I'll be posting it to Twitter. What I need you guys all to do is that exact same thing. Post this to your Instagram, post this to your Twitter, post this to your Facebook, all that good stuff. Make sure you hit that like button. And it's going to be an amazing stream tonight. Once
picture of America that he's fighting
he's going to be coming
for.
out there in a second. So I'm
We want as many people to see it as possible.
Let me know if the sound is
in
all
its
good for you
entirety
guys.
without being edited or cropped or spun to fit the mainstream media's false narrative. That's what we do here at RSPN. We hope you enjoy it.
Erica
enjoy it
sends
as
a
much
$10
as we
super chat. She says,
and
for your birthday, G.
We also want to say thank you to
that's
Diamond
amazing.
and Silk, who are with us here
not
today.
our birthday. My birthday is on the 15th.
Well,
I'm going to be doing a birthday
so
stream
being
then.
able to live stream with them is
this. I'm going to be doing a birthday stream on the 15th, but she sends an early birthday present of a $10 super chat. So shout out to everybody pulling up with that. Thank you for the super chat, Erica. Ooh, oh, I cannot have that playing. They just started playing some copywritten music. I already have it muted, but I'm unmuted on my end too, so I don't have to deal with that. Okay. Just getting this posted on my Instagram. A big reminder to everybody who's showing up from Instagram, make sure you throw it up there on your Instagram stories so that everybody can tune in as well. And if you can, I don't know how many of you guys have that enabled, but make sure you have the swipe up thing to get it right on the channel. Tune in, link in bio. I should have did this hours ago. I'm always procrastinating just a little bit. Shout out to everybody who's already sent a super chat. They all mean so much to me. I believe we've had 3 so far from Mark, Mandatory, and Erica. And I want to thank you all so much. And actually, I believe all of those people are in the Discord server as well. So that's great. If you guys aren't already, make sure you're in the Discord server. One last little plug. Let's see if the music's still playing. It is still playing. I swear. The Trump campaign's trying to screw me over. Because you guys know how crazy they are with that copyright. Like, they do not care. They will literally get on you. Somebody says your birthday is October 15th. It's actually September 15th, right in the middle of the month. And I believe September is the most highly birthed month of the year. So I might be born on like one of the most common days to be born, period. But I'm a very special. I'm a special snowflake. I'm a special snowflake. I keep waiting for them to announce that Biden has COVID and can't debate. They've been waiting for that one trick card up the sleeve since Biden even announced he was running, and I cannot wait. Somebody says my dad's birthday is October 15th. Well, happy birthday to him. My birthday is October. What is up with the October 15th in here? Wow. You guys have 1 month off of me. That's amazing. That is amazing. Still waiting for Trump right here. He's probably standing right there like, ooh, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. This is going to be good. Trump's going to come out there. It's just going to be an amazing speech. The sound is off for the speech because they're still playing copywritten music as far as I know. Yep, they are. We're just kind of waiting. But once he comes out, I believe we will unmute it. And it's going to be good. And you guys love it.
Billions!
You can never go without billions on billions on billions. And it's only going to get better. It is only going to get better. Once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. How many are we at now? We're at 158. We are actually going to hit 200. You guys are amazing. Make sure you hit that like button. It's going to be a great stream. Somebody's actually counting how many times I say it's going to be great, because it's going to be great. I believe that's like the 10th time I've said it's going to be great, because it's going to be great. I mean, what else? What more can I say? I'm feeling it. It's going to be great. So now we got the billions running in the chat. Summer of love, apparently. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait. Trump is standing right off to the side, and I know he's going to come out. It's going to be, I'm proud to be an American. They should. Honestly, imagine how cool it would be if Trump stepped out to a Bryson Gray song. And I'm not saying imagine. That it will happen someday. I don't care whether he's president or not. He will step out and say, or he will step out and it will be the song. If you don't like this country, you can leave. If you don't like this country, you can leave. Talk about white supremacy. Shut up. They should keep it PC, but nah, I'm about to cut up. There's actually a stream where I was literally playing that because it was actually the DNC stream, and it was Billie Eilish, and I was like, nah. I actually did get a copyright hit from that, even though I didn't show it and I didn't have it right. I only showed it, didn't have it playing. They were crazy on that. I got that reverted, thankfully, but they were crazy on that. I had Bryson Gray playing instead because Bryson won't copyright strike me. Thanks for that. Somebody says, Chandler, my husband shares your birthday. We'll tell him happy birthday. We have Trump coming out. Look at that teal tie. Or cyan. I don't know what color that is, but that is a nice striking tie. I don't know how copyrighted this song is, but it's too beautiful for me to not have it playing. Yeah. Oh, look at that tie. It's swinging. I love it. I love it. Yes, it's MAGA season. Shout out to Suno. I don't know your gender, so I can't say he or she. But you know what? I'm gonna say you're a he because why not? Suno, I'm giving you a gender. Suno says MAGA season. Shout out to Suno. They, he, she, who knows, is very active in the chat. Always throwing up the most amazing, funny things. I think Suno has made me laugh way too many times for it to be good.
From sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston. And New York to
looks a little different today. I don't know. Maybe it's just something. American
heart, and it's time we stand and say.
Yeah, somebody says the tie is lit. I agree 100%. Look at all these people. Veterans for Trump, Make America Great, peaceful protester. There is no president that has had nearly as much enthusiasm for his re-election campaign as Trump ever has. Have you guys seen the boat parades? The boat parades. Trump has the sea, Trump has the land, and Trump has the air too. Have you seen the planes flying by with Make America Great Again as the banners? Have you seen that? That is amazing. AOC says reporting this video for hate speech. I can't believe it. Hate speech. I can't do it. Hate speech.
Where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly
ooh, we've got 122 people in here. You guys are filing in. You guys are getting in there. I haven't even tweeted it out yet. Make sure you hit that like button. We're going to hit 200. You guys are amazing. Make sure you hit that like button. If we hit 200, we're going to be doing call-ins at the end of the stream. But that's if we hit 200. And that's if it doesn't go past 11 p.m., which I sure hope it doesn't. That's like 5 hours from now. So if he stops speaking at a reasonable time, I'll start bringing some of you guys on and we'll have a little discussion. We'll bring you guys in there. Oh, listen to that! Out in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. I'm like, that's a blue state, right? Hold on, it's Pennsylvania, blue state. Yeah. I don't know if it's a red state or a blue state. I haven't looked in a while, but I definitely know that support might not be the strongest.
So thank you, Pennsylvania, very much. I'm thrilled to be in Latrobe, the home of the late,
that's how you get it.
My friend Arnold Palmer.
It would, but I would not be surprised. Trump spoke it for 3 hours at CPAC a couple years back.
Great guy.
Crazy.
Thank you very much. 61 days from now, we're going to win the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we are going to win 4 more years in the White House. Joe Biden wants to surrender your jobs to China. You know that.
Wants to. He will. Basically already did.
His son walked out with a lot of money for doing nothing. He wants to surrender your nation to the radical left-wing mob. He's trying to change now. You know, he's saying that's not working because we're going up and he's dropping like a rock in water.
He is. There's a chart. Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
And before the
going up
China virus, this election was over. Now I had to go back to work, and we've done a great job on it. We don't get the credit.
Honestly, he's
we
right.
made a lot of governors look very good.
Did.
But I will
Especially
keep
mine.
you jobs in America, and I'll bring rioters, looters, violent extremists, anarchists. We will bring them to justice. That's what we're doing right now.
I love it when people like change their names to somebody else. AOC's in the chat. He's a fascist.
We have over 400 right now under arrest. These are bad people. Over the last 3.5 years, we've secured America's borders, fixed our broken trade deals, rebuilt the United States military, obliterated the ISIS caliphate 100%.
Obliterated. Al-Baghdadi was a coward.
Energy
A disgusting coward after what we learned he
built
did.
The single greatest economy in the history of the world, and now we're going to do it again. Have to do it again. Got to do it again.
I'll do it again.
And it's happening. You see what's happening. Job numbers, retail sale numbers are all at records. It's happening. It's happening very fast. It's actually happening in a super V, not a V. It's a super V. And you'll see that, and big numbers are coming out.
Billion
have
V.
come out. and just watch your set or watch your newspaper, read your newspaper. You're
set.
seeing numbers that, Congressman, we haven't seen those numbers ever before, actually.
Did we
Never
hit?
seen them. And by the way,
did
we have record stock
we hit
markets.
200 likes?
We
We're at
have
180.
record everything.
Make sure you hit
You're
that like
going to
button,
have-
folks, if you want to have those call-ins at the end.
You're going to have an incredible economic year next year. Your stocks are going
I'm
up.
holding this over
Your
you guys.
401ks are through the roof. Had a little pause today. People wanted to take some profits, and probably somebody said something stupid along the way.
This
But
got me laughing.
the stock market's
got
at
me
record
laughing.
levels. Think of it. In the hopefully rounding the turn on the pandemic, we're rounding that
You
turn,
guys are too good.
and vaccines are coming along great. You know that the job that they've done, the doctors, everybody else, we're years ahead of schedule. Anybody else as
Years.
president, you wouldn't be talking about vaccines for 2 or 3 years from now. I'll tell you
I
right
wish.
now. That I can tell you. Biden will never be able to protect your jobs or your family. He is a puppet of the socialists, Marxists, and the cop-hating extremists, and they are cop-hating. And we love our law enforcement. We love our law enforcement.
We love them. Back to blue, always and forever. Well, not always.
And
but
by the
forever.
way, we have, I don't know if you saw this.
Some bad cops
There's
out
any
there.
way of you seeing it. We have thousands of people behind this hangar.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands, and we're trying to get them in. And I'd love to get them in. I mean, it's an airport. Let them go to the runways, okay?
Yeah.
Let them in.
3-0.
We have, I mean, literally
3-0.
there. We landed. I actually thought that was the crowd. You know, we're doing the hangar thing now because the arenas can't do it because of the pandemic.
The
for
hangar
a
thing.
little while. But in
And they
certain
actually
ways, I like
consider
this
these, like,
better. I don't
peaceful
have to travel. I
protests.
get off the plane, I make a speech, I get the hell out of here. Right? Now these are great. You remember the last days before the campaign? I'd do a lot of them a day. Get off that plane. It was a little different plane. It was black and white instead of the blue and white. But we had some time.
The Trump
and,
plane.
That was an important
it.
day, and that was an important year, 2016. But I will tell you, the election that we have coming up is the single most important election in the history of this country.
Can't hear that enough.
And we had a level of enthusiasm. I mean, even look today, with all going on, look at the kind of crowds we have. And
Cheering. You gotta love it.
but we had record enthusiasm in 2016. By the way, was that the greatest evening ever? November.
For sure.
And now it's going to be November 3rd. And we'll keep it going, and we'll get it all like a tree. You move that tree. It takes a little while to plant your tax cuts. They're going to raise your taxes.
Oh,
They're going to take away your guns. It's really, if you look. And, you know, they'll criticize me for saying this, the fake news media, which is back there.
They always love to boo the fake
With
news.
their fake polls. The same as last year. We could just put it all on tape. The fake polls, the fake everything. You know, they're called suppression polls. They're meant to
Suppression
make you
polls.
depressed. Are you depressed? You don't look depressed.
They are supposed to do that.
The real numbers, and we have the real numbers. We're leading everywhere. We are leading everywhere. I'll tell you, I think
We got the people saying 4 more years in the chat.
12
12 more years. I like that
We
too.
were 4 years ago, and there's far more enthusiasm. Our base is bigger.
Boat
it's
parades.
stronger, and we've done the greatest job. Again, if we didn't get hit by the plague from China,
The plague.
this thing, we wouldn't have even, between us, I would have canceled, Mr. Congressman, most of the rallies. I wouldn't have needed a rally. That's a little bit unfair, but that's okay. That's what China's done to our nation. They've screwed us for a long time on a lot of different ways.
Yes, they have.
No, never has anybody ripped off our nation like China. And I've taken in billions and billions of dollars. We never took in
Billions?
10 cents from China.
Whoa.
And I gave 28 billion.
You said it.
Right? $28 billion to the farmers because they were targeted unfairly by China.
Oh, that's epic. I like that. Billions and billions.
I don't think we have
nice
too
to
many
hear him
farmers
say it.
in this wonderful Pennsylvania town. I know we have a lot of Boilermakers over there. We got a lot of Boilermakers. I'll be talking about them.
Boilermakers.
Look at those guys. Nobody going to mess with them, I'll tell you. We're going to be talking about them in a minute, but
don't have to tell them to go home to mommy.
The entire summer, Biden was silent as far-left rioters viciously attacked law enforcement in Democrat-run cities hall, burned down businesses, terrorized civilians, and just recently marched through the streets chanting "Death to America." This is what we have. Death to America.
I got hairy legs.
And by the way, we could end it like immediately. You saw what we did in Wisconsin.
Oh, yes. You get the federal agents in there, they disperse real quick. Once they know that they can go to federal prison.
You know, they have to ask us in. It's like otherwise.
We're 2 likes away from 200, folks. Get it up in there.
It's totally unnecessary. The National Guard's fantastic. I went to see him 2 days ago. Biden went there today. There was nobody there. There was nobody there. He was a little late. I was going to say, hey, listen, we ended that problem.
Yeah, we fixed that.
We could end it in Portland.
We could.
Wise guys in Portland. Anarchists. They're agitators. They're looters. I'll tell you, we could end it in Portland in a half an hour.
Half an hour, if even.
We did it in Seattle. We told them we're coming in. You either end it or we're coming in. Congressman, we were going in the next day. We were all set. I was actually disappointed, to be honest. They ended it in Seattle. They took over 20% of the city. Do you believe this?
Jeez.
And the mayor said, no, it's going to be a summer of love.
It's all right.
These
Summer of love.
Are crazy.
Billions.
So we end them very quickly.
It's too good. It's too good. We hit 202. We're at 202. All right, folks, you get it.
For cities that don't know what they're doing, where they allow crime to run rampant. And we put a 10-year prison sentence on anybody that knocks down a statue.
There you go. No more statues going down, no matter what.
I took out an old ordinance, a very old one, because today in Congress, you don't get things like that. Today, they think that you should just have no cash bail. You know, they do the no cash bail. You kill somebody, there's no bail. Don't worry about it. Go out. But I took out an old ordinance. I gave a new executive order. It says 10 years in prison. And amazingly,
they stopped.
Amazingly, that was like 3.5 months ago. And they were having a big march on Washington, march elsewhere. And amazingly, that was the end of the statues coming down.
Thankfully.
No statues. And we're actually prosecuting people for having done it. We made it retroactive to the beginning.
Yes.
Terrible. And by the way, the state statues and monuments, they have to do the same thing. It's real easy. But the rioters that want Biden to win, they want him to win because their agenda is an agenda. It's what they want. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. They both want to cut funding for police. They want to end that cash bail. They want to hire far-left prosecutors and judges and let the criminals run wild. The radical left district attorney in Portland, Mike Schmidt, his name is, has released hundreds of rioters and announced that anyone arrested for interfering with police officers, disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, rioting, and other offenses will not be prosecuted under any circumstance. Oh, it's worse. It's worse. You have somebody in Philadelphia who's worse, right?
Ooh.
Worse.
Yeah, the people, look
in
at
his
that crowd.
manifesto with Bernie Sanders, that's what it is. Biden agreed to all these things. You notice now.
I definitely missed the arenas. They were crazy.
I never said, if you don't do fracking in Pennsylvania, 900,000 jobs and your energy bills will triple. Other than that, I don't think you should have it, okay? No, but he said in the manifesto, plus he said many times, we put on the clip yesterday where no fracking, no this, no that. I mean, no guns. How about guns? No guns, no Second Amendment.
No billions. You got to throw it in there.
Biden has pledged to appoint prosecutors who will extend these insane far-left policies nationwide. That's what he's done. That's called the manifesto. He agreed to all this stuff. The craziest thing, you're supposed to bring it to the right. He actually brought it further left. Bernie never dreamt that this was
great
possible.
moderate,
Crazy
right?
Bernie. Do you know Crazy Bernie? You know, I had a lot of his voters come to me 4 years ago. A big percentage. You know why? Because I agree with him, and he agrees with me on one thing: trade. The trade. Because he knew that other countries are ripping us off, and so did I. Nobody else got it, especially Biden. Never got it. He never got it. Still doesn't get it. Now he really gets nothing, I'll tell you. He didn't get it in prime time. Now he really doesn't.
Prime time.
But it's okay for them to make every city look just like Portland, which is a disaster. And again, we could clean it up.
In
we
a
just
day.
go right through it. 5,000, 10,000, right through it. These guys are tough. They're smart, and they love our country. They love our country.
It would be
we'll
so
clean
easy.
it up in 1/2 hour.
Record time. That's
It'll be
Operation
over.
Lightspeed for you.
Did you see
Operation
this
Get Rid of the
radical left
Protesters.
mayor? Wheeler, his name is. The radical left mayor. They chased him, Mike. They chased him out of his home last night. And all he does is be nice to them because they don't understand.
Some mayor got chased out of his own home?
They only understand one thing: strength. That's the only thing they understand. They don't understand nice. They chased him out of his home. Unbelievable. Biden's plan is to appease the domestic terrorists, and my plan is to arrest them and prosecute.
I was trying to throw a hairy legs in there. I can't.
I got hairy legs. 3-0-3. 3-0.
And I will always defend
It actually works really well with the
law-abiding
applause.
citizens. That's why the rioters are voting for Biden, and the law enforcement people. You know, we have it from everybody. We just got the sheriffs in Florida, all of them. We got Ohio, we got Texas, we got North Carolina, we got South Carolina, we got everybody. I don't know if there's anybody, and I see Rick Perry right there.
Ted
Rick
Wheeler.
Perry, what are you doing here, Rick? Rick Perry, one of the greats.
Sad.
But they're all voting for me.
Sad.
This election is about safety, and this election is about jobs. Today, I'm delighted to accept a very, very special endorsement from people I like.
Oh.
Sort of grew up with these people. I don't know what it is, the relationship we have with all of us.
Who is this?
With all of us.
Or what is this?
But I'm getting an endorsement tonight from some very, very special
Is this the
people.
Iron
They
Range?
work hard. They do great. We really put them back to work because this state was in trouble. And last year, you had the single greatest economic year in the history of your whole operation, right? Of your whole operation. You've never had anything like that. This has been your greatest. This has been, prior to the plague coming in, it's been the Commonwealth's greatest. Can we ever call the Commonwealth a state? You got two places. You always have to say, well, wait a minute. Is this one a Commonwealth? Two places. You know what the other place is?
You're not funny.
Huh? That's right. How did you know that,
You're
Congressman?
not. You're just not.
Huh?
You're like
But this
the least
Commonwealth,
funny
it's a great
Gen Z
Commonwealth.
conservative.
It's a great
Jenna
place.
Parker is funnier
and
than
the
you.
Boilermakers local union.
Thanks for the super chat, though. He sends $2.69.
They chartered in Pittsburgh 125 years ago. None of you are around to see.
I'm going to have words with Vince after the stream for
And it
that
now
one.
represents members in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. And I want to thank John Hughes and the Boilermakers here today. It's a great honor to have you. Who's John? Where the hell is John? Stand up, John.
Where is he? Where's John?
John, we appreciate it.
Camera's
We
going to find
appreciate
John.
it.
I want to see John. Who's John?
Do you know why John is the head? You know why? Because look, he's got the worst location. I say, where's John? I'm looking in the front row. He's in. Put up your hand, John. Look at that guy. He's great.
Where is he?
You got my vote, John. Hey, Boilermakers, thank you. What a job you do. You're the heart of this country. You really are. Thank you very much. That's a great endorsement.
Vince versus Chandler debate
That's a
win.
great endorsement.
I don't know if we disagree on too much for one.
Joe
but
Biden spent the last 47 years shipping Pennsylvania jobs to China and foreign nations. And I've spent the last 4 years bringing them back home, and we're bringing them back home.
Billions.
Bringing a lot of things back home.
That's how many jobs he shipped away.
Billions.
I ended the
That's how many
last
jobs he brought back.
administration's 8-year pure war on Pennsylvania oil and coal and fracking and national. If you look at the natural gas, what they've done to this state, what they were doing to this state, it was sort of easy. I just opened it up and I said, do it. And the investment put into Pennsylvania, the investment put into the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has been record-setting. But again, you had the greatest year you've ever had last year prior to the virus. You're going to be set now with what we're doing. I believe that this next quarter, which will be announced, interestingly, just prior to the election. So I'm putting myself in the line, but I know what's going to happen. The numbers are going to be great. And next year is going to be one of the greatest years, not only for Pennsylvania, but for the entire country.
I mean, yeah. We're at 217. You guys think we can hit 300 likes?
We have a new one. Joe Hyden.
What about that one? Yes, Joe Hyden.
Call him Joe Hyden. I have all of them. What do you like better? What do you like better?
Oh.
We got a number.
Okay.
Let's do a little poll. Can we do a poll?
Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. Everybody in the chat,
I save myself so much money. We do these polls with thousands. And those people are coming in from the back, are they not? Yes? They're coming in. I'm telling you, you wouldn't have believed it. I'm landing. I wasn't waving at you. I was waving at them. There's more. But I do these polls, right?
It's dope.
It's like a perfect poll.
I'll get one.
You give them $1 million and they do a poll. Like 78 people will poll.
Katie, nobody's going to do that.
So
donate to 2069.
What's your feeling?
Nobody should do that.
First of all, in the name. What's it? You like MAGA, Make America Great Again? Yes?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, you are the one. You are a man. I made you famous today. You said the nicest things about me. Thank you. Did you see him on television today?
Who? We need more cameras.
I think you're great.
Confused.
I think you're great. Thank you. No, he called me a great Christian and a great Christian leader.
Christian genius billionaire Kanye West. Christian genius president Donald Trump.
Thank you.
Same energy, dragon energy.
But he did say I wasn't perfect. But that's okay. I said thank you anyway, right? No, that was.
Why are people saying donate for 2069? That's stupid.
But if you look at it, the things they've done, we're going to go through a couple of different polls as we go along because I love the people saying do this or do that. But one of the things I got you out of is this thing sounds so good, but it's so bad. It's a ripoff of our country, the so-called Paris Climate Accord. It's a disaster, a death sentence.
The Paris Climate Accord,
it's
a death sentence
for your energy jobs. I took it out.
I'm shaking the desk with nodding so hard, but yes.
Biden pledged to reinstate it. It's going to cost you billions and billions of dollars. Billions? You know what it really is?
I was about to play the you'd be in jail clip,
but advantage of the United States.
I got to throw that billions up there.
I visited the Shell petrochemical plant in Beaver County. Anybody ever hear of Beaver County?
Pennsylvania for Trump. You already know it. Shout out to everybody that's from Pennsylvania in the chat. You guys are amazing.
History, all made possible by our
Thank you for the $25 super chat. I love you.
Biden would wipe out that entire industry, killing the jobs of more than 600,000 Pennsylvania workers. It's probably 940,000, they say. Think of that. Also, prices and everything else. Now,
billions.
Biden today came out and said, no, fracking's okay. It's okay. Did you see that? Fracking's okay. Because he was getting killed. And now he came out in favor of law enforcement. Look at all these handsome
Can't kill something that's basically dead. I shouldn't say that. I just got demonetized. You guys watched it in real time.
No, but how can anybody believe it? He's totally against. At his speech and at the DNC, where we got much higher numbers than they did, but you know.
Yes, we did. We saw that.
They'll say anything. We got much higher by millions and millions of people.
He's doing it on purpose.
We have a great convention.
Billions. Billions.
My guy.
My guy.
Good job you did. But we had a great convention, and it's been really terrific. You know, I made a speech at Mount Rushmore, and since that speech, our numbers have been up like a rocket, like a beautiful rocket.
Up.
The Mount Rushmore
Rocket Man.
speech. I said, you know,
you remember that?
We're getting
Rocket
hit by
Man's
this
asleep
pandemic
now.
very unfairly in the sense that we've done such a good job with the ventilators, all of the things. You know, you've heard it 1,000 times.
Thank you, Elo.
And we have to get back.
Don't get
and I made a
gypped by fake
speech.
news.
in really a great place, South Dakota, but it was
I'm gonna
Mount
get the millions
Rushmore.
clip.
You know they want to blow it up. You know they want to take off now, right?
They want to lynch those heads.
If you would see how beautiful, this is, it was like this perfect evening.
I gotta
The
visit
sun
it.
was setting. The faces of these great, majestic heroes of our country, right? Heroes of our country.
Heroes. Hey, Kate, thank you. I remember
And they
you.
want
You're
to blow
fun.
up
You're
Mount
amazing.
Rushmore. But how about this one? The Democrats yesterday came out with a plan. Did you see it? Now, they're the D.C. Democrats. They want to change the name of the Washington Monument, perhaps take it down. Thomas Jefferson, pretty good Thomas Jefferson, right? You could forget about ever hearing that name again. Abraham Lincoln, you could forget about
Forget it.
They want to take
Racist.
down all statues, all monuments in Washington.
They took down a
We have
statue
some
of a
your
freed
greatest
slave.
people right here. Let me not even talk to the
down
congressman.
the
The heck
statues
with the
of
congressmen, the
abolitionists.
Boilermakers. How do you like the idea of taking down our
Ooh,
statues
Kate with the
to
scathing
our
remark.
great George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln,
Disgusting.
Andrew Jackson, all of them. I don't think the Boilermakers. You'll
Who are the? Oh, that was bad. I was trying to get back to my stream here. Hold on, let me bring that back in. Sorry about that, guys. We're getting it already back in here. There we go. Who are the
There was a
Boilermakers,
group of
though?
great Italians in New York. They tried
See,
to take
Chandler
down,
makes mistakes. Chandler makes mistakes.
They
Who
tried
are the
to
Boilermakers,
take
though?
down
I want to know.
Christopher Columbus statue in New York. You saw what happened, right? These Italians
I'm
formed
sorry,
a little
ladies and
circle.
gentlemen.
They said,
That was
"Come
bad.
on."
And yes,
The
this is more
agitators
important.
decided to leave. Let's get out of here, darling.
We've heard some good news
They
from King
protected
Face, though, which is
Christopher
good.
Columbus. The Italians aren't big on taking down Christopher Columbus. You take down those statues, you can forget about the Italian vote. Do we agree? But they protected it. When asked in a debate if there would be any place
Somebody
for
said
fossil
stream
fuels,
over.
including coal, fracking,
It was an accident. It was an
natural
accident.
gas,
Come
and so many
on.
things that really fire up these big plants where many of you work, and it produced, just millions and millions of jobs throughout our country.
Billions.
Biden said
Perfect.
no.
It
we
fit
would
perfect.
absolutely not allow anything like that. We would make sure it's totally eliminated. That's what he said. He said we would make sure it's totally eliminated or eliminated. Now he's coming and saying this isn't working too well. This isn't working. I made a speech a week ago in Texas. We had crowds that were unbelievable.
Thank you,
On the
Jesse.
highways, you can't get in, but the highways, it's like incredible. You could sell your ticket
Highways.
tonight for a lot of money. Go to eBay.
He loves saying,
Even
go
as
to
a used
eBay.
ticket, you could probably sell. But you go down the highways and you see it. And I was thinking in Texas, I'm making a speech in front of obviously people that like oil. They like God. And you know what else they like? They like their Second Amendment, right?
Pro-life, pro-God,
So
pro-Trump.
think about it. So whether it's Pennsylvania or Texas or Oklahoma or North Dakota or any place, you take a look at this, right? And no oil, no guns, no God.
No.
I don't think George Washington running with Abraham Lincoln as his VP. He'll pick Abraham Lincoln as
Ooh.
VP is going to
You
win.
guys are
in
keeping it
Texas
going with the
or
super
in
chats,
Pennsylvania
Danielle.
or
I mean,
any place
Daniel.
else
Sorry. I
with
just
those
misgendered.
three
I
things
misgendered another
eliminated.
person.
That's what they want
I
to
need
do.
to
They
be
want to take
canceled.
away your Second Amendment. If I weren't
Because of
president,
demonetization.
you would either have
Thank
an
you.
obliterated Second Amendment or it would be gone entirely. I am standing between them and your Second Amendment, and that's it.
He's standing between them and us. We need him.
Billions.
He put Beto in charge of guns. Beto's in charge. He wants to get rid of everything. Beto, that's a beauty. Remember, he said, I was born for this. Anybody that says they're born for this, remember Beto? He was on the cover of a magazine. I won't mention
Beto.
the magazine. They're back there. It's a total phony magazine.
Ooh.
But he was on the cover of the magazine.
Shut
he
up,
said,
Vince.
"I
It
was
was actually
born
Mark
to run
Miller
for
who
president."
sent
He
the
was
first
born
super
for it.
chat. So big shout out
I
and
was
thanks to
born.
Mark Miller.
Anybody that
Not
gets
you,
that carried away,
Vince.
that was when he was
Clown.
doing well. Since
Clown
then,
Dow.
he's cratered. Ever since he made that statement, he's looked very bad. But he's take a look at what he says about guns. And he got put in charge of guns. So I guess Biden pretty soon is going to be coming out saying, no, I never said that. Check out all of the statement he's made on everything.
Check it out.
And now he's going the opposite way. but he's agreed to the manifesto entirely. So maybe he'll do that. And then he figures later on he'll go, but everything he said is right because he has no control over what's happening. The radical left has captured the party. They even elected a person that nobody ever heard of, a senator, it's been a while, against a young, good-looking Kennedy by 10 points in Massachusetts. Did you know Kennedy lost in Massachusetts? You know why? Because he wasn't a radical left. He was like a semi-normal person, just slightly left.
He's my friend. We're just playing around.
No, but think of it. This is what's happened, and this is really what's happened. If you're not a radical lefty, meaning guns, meaning fossil fuels, they want wind. You know, to make the windmill, which are made mostly in China and in Germany, by the way, to make it, so much emission is let out that is more than you can ever save. It's just the craziest thing. Also, I am truly an environmentalist, but you have to understand.
Stop the cap.
We do things and they don't, and we clean and
no, don't do that. Don't do that.
And we have this massive planet, and China, India, Russia, Germany, all these places, it's fuming up, and we're doing our job and beautiful. No, they have to do it also. Otherwise, it just doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
You guys are terrible.
They want to ban straws.
Oh,
God. Has anybody ever tried those paper straws?
Terrible. Right? They ruin your drink.
They want to ban straws.
Break.
I said, well, you know, I've had a couple of
I might as well just
meals
sip it
at
raw.
McDonald's, etc. over the years, right? Wendy's, friend of mine owns Wendy's. I'll give it a plug, right? Burger King. So they want to ban straws. I said, oh, really? What
he
about
doesn't care.
Carton? What about the plate? What about the knives and the spoons that are plastic? Oh, they're okay. But the straws we got to ban. Has anybody ever tried? Seriously, the new straws made out of paper, right?
Somebody said Beta O'Dow.
You're drinking. If you have a nice tie like this tie, this would have no chance.
That is a nice tie. That is a nice tie.
By the time you get finished, the straw is totally disintegrated. Does anybody walk around with a plastic straw? Because it's not bad. You know, you whip it out, boom, boom.
Whip out the plastic straw.
You never had to do that.
Trump straws. He has the Trump straws.
Be willing to destroy the jobs of hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers.
Cap is and lie.
To push his anti-energy agenda. You know what the answer is, right? It's the Green New Deal, right? This Green New Deal. This was made up by people that don't get it. Either that or people that just don't like our country very much.
Billions.
But Biden replied,
just don't
yes,
like our
he'll get rid
country.
of those jobs.
He looks so comfortable.
He famously told a voter, I want you to look in my eyes when he's not wearing the mask, because I've never seen a man that liked a mask. Look, I'm all for it. We have a big weekend, distance on the weekend and all of that stuff, and wear your mask when you close together in particular, and wash your hands, all those things. We have Labor Day weekend coming up. But did you ever see a man that likes a mask as much as him? And then he makes a speech, and he always has it, not always, but a lot of times he has it hanging down because, you know what, it gives him a feeling of security. If I were a psychiatrist, right? No, I'd say this guy's got some big issues.
It's going to be wrapping up around 8 or so.
Hanging down.
That's when it's scheduled to
give me
wrap.
your mask. I want to have it hanging from my ear. I don't want to touch your damn mask.
Ooh.
Mike, I'll
watch
never
your
touch
language, Trump. Ooh, scathing.
No, but the new one is, you know, I went for a physical. The doctor said to me, sir, would you like to go over to Walter Reed? It's incredible. By the way, the job they do on people that have been just really hurt are heroes. And the job they do is incredible. But he, sir, would you like to go over and do a physical? You have some time. You know why I had time? Some deal. Oh, it was China. I decided not to see China because they didn't like the way they were doing business, okay?
Doing
Does that
business.
make sense? So the doctor, White House doctor, highly respected, Sean Conley. Sir, would you like to go over and do your physical, do a piece of it or finish it or whatever it was, but do a physical? I said, I don't know. I'm not in love with the idea. Well, if you do it, we don't have to do it. So, okay, let's go. Come on. So we went. And we're driving. Now you have to understand there are like, you know,
he's telling a story.
What happens here?
He's telling
it's
a story.
Like the plane times 50. So the cars are driving all over. It's about a 20-minute drive. And we get to the hospital. I get out. I was there probably for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then yesterday I read that I had strokes.
Ooh, he's touching it. He's touching it.
Fake news CNN right there.
Right there. Cameras turned off. CNN's like, and other news. Koala bears attack human. Something more important than Trump.
No, it's mini strokes, they called them. I don't
He's
know
doing
what
it.
a mini stroke is, but it's not good. And there could be a day, and
I'm clipping that.
It happens to all of us, right? Except these young ones, it's never going to happen to them. They're not looking at that. But you know what happens? But nothing happens. So I went in. I did that part of the physical. The end result was he's very healthy.
Very
Very
healthy.
unhappy when they heard that result.
Nope.
And what you don't remember is when this took place, it was a long time ago. They just started up because they want to try and get me to be in Biden's physical level.
They went.
They viewed me as being somebody that's, I go around, hey, last week, this week, Texas.
Shout out to
North
all you guys
Carolina,
posting me on your Instagram
Florida,
stories. Keep it up.
South Carolina, back to Washington. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go everywhere. Meetings all the time.
I don't know what a mini
I think
stroke
I've
is,
answered
but
more
it's not
questions
good.
from these maniacs than any president in history.
I think that's amazing.
And mean questions. I watched Biden yesterday. So he hasn't answered questions in, 2 months or something. And yesterday, he took a couple, and they were setups like I've never seen. One young woman, who I think is there, is smiling. Hi.
Oh, it has to be such an honor to be
I'd just
referenced
like
by
to
Trump.
ask you, I'm sorry to bother you with this question. It's the most incredible.
Here we go.
So the doctor wrote a letter saying, no, this rumor is wrong. And I don't like, rumors like that. And by the way, if it were a fact, it's fine. It should. I think it's an important thing. But if it's not true, my wife was like, she came to me, she said, I think I would have known that. I said, yeah, I think they would have known it too, because they drove back with me. The press follows me. They have a special deal, a van. They followed me.
A van.
And then we go in, we go out. But if you remember last time, I go in, I spend a little time physical, like we all have. Hopefully you have them. Good thing to have, I guess. As long as they give you a good answer. If they give you a bad answer, don't bother. Possibly too late.
That's sad.
But I go in.
Shouldn't be laughing.
I come out a couple of hours later, I guess, whatever it is, short time later. I get into the car. The press sees me get into the car. On my way home, I get a call from my wife, the first lady, who's very popular. Do we like our first lady?
She gave an amazing speech.
Yeah. She's very popular. She's a great person, great woman. She said, darling, are you okay? I go, why do you ask? She said, they're reporting that you had a heart attack. Now, you have to understand, I'm driving in a car, which is about, 6 cars in front of the press.
6.
Because they have a big car. There are a lot of them, and we try and give them as little room as possible, make it uncomfortable. But they're right behind me. So they know I got in. And CNN reported that I had a heart attack. That was the same visit.
Wow.
And that didn't work.
That's fear mongering. That's like,
No,
that shouldn't be, that's not right.
CNN reported I had a heart attack. So my wife was concerned. I said, no, not that I know of. And if I did, I think I'd be back there. No, I'll be home in 15 minutes, darling. Thank you for caring. It's always nice. It's always nice.
Thanks for
She
caring.
sounded relieved. That's good. When your wife sounds relieved.
You never hear about their interpersonal
And she
relationship.
said, I wonder how that happened. Why did they do that? Because they're fake news. So I go in, and that rumor lasted for a little while, like a day or two. It lasted for a little while, no matter what I did. I walk, I'm in the same motorcade. I go in and I go out. They know I'm in the motorcade. I actually have to report it, but I'm in the motorcade. And they said I had a cut. One of them said it was a massive heart attack. Think of it. Again, it could happen someday, okay? And when it does, I hope things work out.
I hope.
But they
Aw.
knew I'm in the motorcade, and yet they reported it anyway because they're fake news. Now, for the same visit, that was the same. That was the stupidest thing.
Imagine
From
being
now
such
on,
a king.
when I go for a physical or something, or go to the hospital, announce it. Because this was a quick thing. The doctor, he got me in a lot of trouble. He's a great doctor. I said, no more surprise visits to the hospital where we do a little work because we have some time. But so now the same visit, they started yesterday because some joker from the New York Times, who's a third-rate reporter, writes a book. And he said, the vice president was prepared to take over the reins because they thought the president was going to go, I guess, under anesthesia. Do they still call it? In the old days, they called it anesthesia. It's essentially the same thing. I don't want to get into a situation like where Biden used record player. Remember, you go home, you turn on your record.
Turn on the record player for the kids.
But the anesthesia. And I said, how could that be? So remember, it's the same visit. They said heart attack a long time. All of a sudden out of this book. And he said, suffered mini strokes. Now they get a letter from the White House doctor that said it's totally false, totally false. But they still go with it. They go with it. And they know I'm in the group with them coming back. And if you, I don't know much about
such a lie, stroke, like a sad lie.
But I assume, Mr. Congressman, if you have a mini stroke, you're not heading back to the White House, right?
No.
At least you'll spend a couple of nights at that great hospital, right? So anyway, these are really dangerous people. They are so bad for our country. If we had honest press, it would be so great for the USA.
Sadly, just not quite going to get there.
So
at least not with the current media we have.
Not all of them. You have some very good ones, like about 10%. No, you have some very good ones. You have some great journalists, but it's really, they know it's phony
journalists,
stuff.
I bet.
They're doing anything they can to get this sleepy guy into the White House, and I just don't think the public is going to fall for it. I don't think the public is going to fall for it. You know, in his best days, 25, 30 years ago, he was weak. He was weak as a senator. He was weak. He was not known as being one of the smart ones, and now it's not exactly prime time. I can tell you that. I just want to announce tonight, because we're joined with some very, very special warriors, and Dan Muser. Dan, thank you very much. Great job you're doing. Dan, congressman. He's a 10%. Congressman who have really been warriors for me. I really have been. Thank you very much, Dan. Fred
We're at
Keller.
250 likes right now. We're gonna hit 300, folks.
The great John Joyce.
We might just
break
that record.
Guy Reschenthaler, do you know him? Guy Reschenthaler.
Make sure you hit that like button.
What are you doing over there? What happened? You don't get along with these guys? Huh? Oh, okay.
Just imagine all the people over there.
Now I understand.
Leave them in the rally, and I think there's still people getting in there
Thompson. Too. Great job. Great job, Glenn. Really great. And a real good friend of mine right from the beginning, right, Mike? You know, we were in Pennsylvania, and a friend of ours, a congressman long-term, right, from Kentucky. No, from actually
outside
Tennessee,
my purview.
Came up to us. I was getting ready to make a speech.
As Bill Barr would say.
And Tennessee is very early
Mueller
voting.
would say.
Remember what he said? This was 4 years ago. He said, I don't know what's happening in Pennsylvania. I don't know what's happening in the rest of the country. But if what's going on in the rest of the country is like what's going on in Tennessee, he said, they're coming from the hills, the roadsides, the rivers. He said, they're coming. People that never really cared to vote. They're great Americans, but they never wanted to vote for the people that they would see. He said, they're miles long. They've got Trump here, Trump hats, Trump
here,
pins.
Trump there. Trump everywhere.
Tennessee.
Trump in the sky, Trump in the sea. Trump everywhere you go.
Remember that, Mike? That was the first time. I mean, they said they've never seen anything like it. Tennessee's been incredible, by the way. But so Mike and I listened, and we said, I wonder what that's all about. But it is true. People that weren't really political people, they're coming in and, you know, the deal here, like the Miss Universe, good old Miss Universe, right? Like this. They came with hats. They came with pins. They're loaded with pins. One person had hundreds of pins. They never had a pin in their life. But they love the job that we've done, and we're going to do it even better in the next 4 years. Another great friend of mine is a tough cookie and a great congressman, but unfortunately, he's a former. because he's just, I don't know, he's just a special guy and really has a big, beautiful heart. Lou Barletta. Lou. You look good, Lou. Why don't you run again, Lou? Run. And a man who's tough. You know, there's this guy. You ever hear of a guy named Connor Lamb? He's like a lamb.
You can definitely tell he's giving a more localized speech here
because he's in
for
sort of a
Pennsylvania.
Trumpy area, right? And we heard that he's going to be for Trump, and he's going to be fighting for Trump. And you know, I saw some of his commercials. I thought he was a Republican, right? Except when he got to Washington, he voted with Pelosi 100% of the time.
Plant.
Crazy Nancy.
Not even a
He
rhino,
voted
just
with crazy Nancy.
sad.
And so we thought this Connor Lamb guy, he even voted to impeach your president over nothing. Zero.
A perfect phone call.
And that's very personal. When they do that, that's personal.
It's over.
So, and I have to say, Congressman, 196 to nothing, they stuck with us. And so did the Senate, other than Romney. You can have Romney, I'll tell you. Romney couldn't be elected dog catcher in Utah, right?
No, he's done. It's over.
Although he gave me a half a vote. It was 52 and a half to a half. That was Romney. What a beaut. Remember he was walking with the Black Lives Matter saying, yes, I'm a member of Black Lives Matter. Everyone said, that's nice, wonderful. He had a lot of masks on, I'll tell you that. But we did a great job. We had a great, it was an amazing thing. But this Connor Lamb was out there fighting it, and he shouldn't have done that. And we have somebody that blows him away.
Definitely.
He's more of a hero. He's tougher. He's stronger. He's smarter. He's better looking. Not that that matters.
I always hear that one right there.
You know, under the Me Too generation, I don't talk about looks anymore.
Yeah.
Looks don't matter. Doesn't make any difference. I don't talk about looks. Me too. Me Too generation. But I'll tell you, this man is something special. He's a real hero, a real tough guy, and he'll never let you down. Sean Parnell.
That's a name I can recognize. Yes. Big shout out to Sean Parnell.
Just remember that Connor Lamb, and I remember because he's like a lamb. He's like a little lamb. Weak. Got a lot of weak people. We like strong people, don't we?
Billions.
We like that. We need
Gotta
strong
catch
people.
all off
right
guard.
now. We have somebody else in the audience who served as my Secretary of Energy, and he was incredible. He was the governor of Texas for what, 12 years?
Thanks,
I
October.
think, Rick, right? 12?
I
Tell me,
will.
14?
You guys have been getting on me so
14
hard.
years he was.
I'll get it in there.
And he
I'll get
was
it in
an
there.
incredible governor, and he was an incredible
Thank you for the
secretary,
$5
and he's
super
been an
chat.
incredible friend. Rick Perry, everybody. There was nobody that got into the race tougher than Rick. What he said about me, I'll never repeat again. Even my own family didn't like me when he got finished. And when he decided that I would be the one, he got out. And there's nobody that said better things about me. But you're great, Rick, and you did a fantastic job. Every place you've been great. Thank you very much. Rick Perry. Thank you. Hey, Rick, how are we doing in Texas? Huh? We had a poll today in Georgia. You know, they say Georgia's going to be close. Well, this was a poll that hates Trump, and we're up 7. That was the same thing happened last time, right? You know, they use the words in play. George is in play, they say. George is in play. Well, we're up 7, and this is a poll that truly hates us, okay? But they did the last time. Didn't they say last time that Texas was in play? And then it was 8 o'clock, the polls closed, and they only announce if you're way ahead. So they say the polls have closed in the great state of Texas. Donald Trump has won the great state of Texas. And I kept hearing it was in play. They said Utah, the home of our worst senator. They said Utah was in play. That's Mitt Romney. Mike Lee's doing excellent.
That's for sure.
I didn't want to get them confused, by the way. But they say Utah, same thing. Remember that 4 years ago? We had the guy with the shaved head. What was his name, Rick? What a loser that was. You know who I'm talking. That's right. A McMuffin, I think, something like that.
Oh, no.
And he was going to win Utah. And I won it by many, many, many points. It was called immediately. So these are people that are just not good. In fact, Hillary even beat this guy.
Ooh.
Hillary came in second in Utah. In less than 4 years, we've achieved more than anyone thought possible. We passed massive tax cuts for hardworking families.
Look at that sunset.
And
That's
we
a beautiful
eliminated
image.
more regulations than any administration in the history of our country. I saved the U.S. auto industry by withdrawing from the last administration's job-killing catastrophe known as the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It would
Oh,
have been a
TPP
catastrophe.
is so bad.
Not only for autos, by the way, for everything else, too.
Would have been so bad.
To protect our workers, I
stayed in
imposed
it.
stiff tariffs on
It had
foreign
happened.
aluminum and foreign steel. That kept you guys very busy. They were dumping all over the place. Is that right? They were dumping. And it was bad steel, too. It was dirt steel. This week,
steel.
my administration reached a breakthrough agreement to stop additional steel imports from
sunsets.
Brazil and from Mexico for the rest of the year, despite the USMCA. Sometimes they get a little carried away, and we have to do a little tariff action on them. So we stopped that. We're reversing decades of the Biden betrayals that decimated Pennsylvania jobs. You know that. This state lost, listen to this, 1 in 3 manufacturing jobs after the twin disasters of NAFTA and China's
Twin
entrance into
disasters.
the World Trade Organization.
Ooh,
One
that
of
was
the
bad.
worst things that happened when China came in. You know, they were flatlined for many years. Then they came into this crazy deal. They're considered a developing nation. You see, I've been sort of protesting that, but they're considering China. As a developing nation, you get all sorts of things that you would never get,
Dirty.
advantages over the United States. Well, we have very strongly protested that. They're not a developing nation. They're a very powerful, developed nation. And you know what? They got to pay what everyone else has to pay. Earlier this year, I kept my promise to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania when we ended the NAFTA nightmare and signed the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement into law, which is in
USMCA.
effect now and really doing well. Everyone said it'll never happen. And I had great help from these gentlemen.
USMCA
right
sounds better than NAFTA. Doesn't
I
it?
took the toughest ever action to stand up to China's pillaging, plundering, and rampant theft of Pennsylvania and many other places' jobs. That's all throughout the world, by the way. But our states have been just pillaged by China and others. Joe Biden's agenda is made in China. My agenda is made in America.
Made in China. That's one way to say it. The people cheering are just the best. You can't get over that.
After years and years of rebuilding other countries, we are finally rebuilding our country. It's called America First.
There you go.
We're America First. It's enough. And we're bringing our soldiers back home. You see what's going on. After 19 years in Afghanistan.
Billions.
Faraway places.
Off
To
to
bring
faraway
hope to our
lands.
inner cities, I created opportunity zones. Tim Scott, great senator from South Carolina, worked on it with me. Passed criminal justice reform, delivered permanent funding for historically black colleges and universities.
Very
that
good accomplishments.
Obama would never do. And before the China virus, we
Seeing
achieved
the
the
USA
lowest
chants in the
African
chat.
American,
Get it going.
Hispanic American, Asian American unemployment rates ever recorded by far. And they're now heading back in that direction quickly. Democrat politicians have failed the black community for decades. They failed the Asian community, the Hispanic community.
No, they never
failed
bring up the
women.
Asian community.
The numbers on women's unemployment were the best in 61 years. Biden spent the last 47 years betraying the American people. He was always for things that you wouldn't want, and now he's changing. No, I never said that. I never said that. I've spent the last 4 years keeping my promises and delivering for the African American community and for all communities. And the best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. Ah, you love it. You love it. Thanks for tuning in, Mandatory. I'll see you next time.
Perhaps in no area have our opponents more thoroughly betrayed working families of all backgrounds than on the subject of immigration. You know, we've been fighting for that. Under my administration, we achieved the most secure border in American history. We ended catch and release, stopped asylum fraud, and we've deported 20,000 gang members, and we get them out, and we get them out there. Thank you, ICE. ICE and Border Patrol. ICE and Border Patrol. They don't like ICE because ICE they're tough.
Ice.
You got to be tough in that job, by the way. Anybody up here like to work in ICE? I don't think so.
Hispanics for Trump. Let's go. Let's get it.
But you'd rather do what you're doing, right? I agree with you. These are tough guys. They have to be tough. These are bad, bad gang members. I mean, you look at MS-13, you look at what's happened with MS-13, you look at, but we get them the hell out. Sometimes we have to put them in prison because we don't even want to take a chance they can come back in after what they've done. We built 300 miles of border wall, and we're adding 10 new miles every single week. Every week. And the wall will be finished very soon. And by the way, they keep saying, but Mexico will be paying for the wall. And I say it respectfully to Mexico.
Will be. They already are.
For the wall. They understand that. They just don't want to write it, and that's okay too. Because Mexico's treated us very well. The president of Mexico, right now they have 27,000 Mexican soldiers on our border guarding us from people coming in illegally into our country. We invested $2.5 trillion in the United States military and launched the first new branch of the United States Armed Forces in nearly 75 years since the Air Force, and that's called the Space Force.
I love it. I love it when he brings up the Space Force.
Right,
he gets
Sean,
this
pretty
wide
good.
smile on his face because he loves it.
Going to send Mike into space. You want to go into space, Mike? Our great congressman. But think of that. You know,
He's a
we
jokester.
created a new branch of the United States. That alone, if you had that alone, but then you add judges, all the other things. We passed VA choice and VA accountability. So now, instead of waiting for a week, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 9 weeks
Too many weeks.
to see a doctor, you don't have a doctor, you go right out, you get a private doctor, we pay the bill, and our great
That's
veterans
the best system ever for our
get
veterans.
better quickly.
No better way to do it at all.
And accountability. We keep people accountable for the way they treat our veterans. And if they don't treat them well, we say, sorry, you're fired. Get out.
You're fired.
No,
If you
we
don't,
couldn't
if you don't
fire
put our
anybody.
veterans first
We had
and do the job
sadists, we
right,
had
you're done.
thieves, we had some very bad people in the VA, and they're all gone. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you.
Teaming up for a chance is the best thing. I think
Such
that was like
friendly
maybe
voices.
4 girls
Right,
that
beautiful.
cheered that, and it worked.
Only in Pennsylvania, right? Thank you. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal. Think of this.
Oh,
Obama paid $150 billion for a short-term deal. He gave $1.8 billion in cash. You ever see $1 million like at a casino floor or something in $100 bills? It's a lot. It's like the size of this, right? Now think $1.8 billion. How did you guys allow that to happen? They said we all voted against it. I kept my promise, recognized the true capital of Israel.
Oh, listen to that. What's all that?
You never know nowadays, right? And I opened the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem.
You never know.
I recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. They've been trying to get that done for 52 years. I got it done immediately.
Wow.
And by the way, as far as the capital of Israel, Jerusalem, they've been talking about many, many presidents. They all promised it. Nobody did it. I did it. We get things done. And we just did something that is incredible. Even the New York Times gave it good reviews. Not good reviews, beyond good reviews.
Wow.
Tom Friedman gave it phenomenal reviews.
We're at 272 likes, folks.
And
Let's get it up
that's-
going.
we
Let's get
achieved
it to 300.
The first
Let's do it.
breakthrough in Middle East peace in decades. A deal with Israel, right? And the UAE.
Can't believe that.
The deal with Israel and the
He gets
UAE.
it done. He doesn't care.
And that's going to lead. And I will tell you, we have representatives over right now, and other people are saying, we want to get in that deal. You'll have peace in the Middle East, but we want to get the hell out. Let's get them all back. Let's get them all back. Don't forget, we're energy independent. There used to be a reason. Now we do have a reason. It's called Israel. But and we have some very good partnerships over there. In all fairness, we have some countries that have treated us very well, and we're going to take care of those countries. But we are energy independent for the first time, and that's a very good feeling. And our military has never been stronger than it is now. It's new and it's beautiful. And I told you, we took over 100% of the ISIS caliphate in Iraq and Syria, and we killed the founder and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. And separately, we killed the world's number one terrorist,
Red Tsunami.
For decades and decades, Qasem Soleimani. We killed.
Very important to get that out of there.
It's a big step for the Middle East. We kept America out of wars. Remember, they always said, oh, this Trump, he's radical. He's really, he's too radical. He'll get us in wars. I kept you out of wars. What happened with North Korea?
I look forward to seeing it.
Look, I get along with Kim Jong-un. They say, that's terrible. He gets along. No, it's good if I get along. If I get along with Russia, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's a good thing. These maniacs, anytime, they always talk about Russia. They never talk about China. You know, it's very interesting. It's always Russia. I heard it starting again. They said, somebody spoke to Russia 2 years ago. Russia, Russia, Russia. This total maniac, Shifty Schiff, he's a total maniac. So, no, it's always. You ever notice? I can't even listen, but when I hear Russia, I just turn it off. It's crazy. But, you know, getting along with countries is actually a good thing. Can we explain that?
What's the stigma behind that? I don't get that.
It's a very good thing. But remember, I was the one that was going to be leading you into war. In the first week, he'll be in war. He's a radical kind of a personality. I'm really not. I like to have peace. But if we ever do get into war, we will knock the hell out of them, whoever it may be.
Go home to mommy.
These guys only fight to tie. They don't fight to win. We fight to win.
We fight to win.
But you look at what's happening where they're all coming back home. I even reduced in Germany because Germany, they're an ally, but, you know, they took advantage of us very badly on trade and very badly with our military. So we removed a lot of soldiers out of Germany. They're not happy. They said, this is going to hurt our economy. Well, it's good for our economy.
As if they care about the economy.
They thought it was going to hurt.
When was the last time a Democrat actually cared about the economy?
They don't treat us right. Pandering. They don't pay their bills. They're delinquent. You know what delinquent is? They're delinquent. They don't pay their bills. We protect them. They don't pay their bills. We got to do something. And they treat us horribly on trade through the European Union, which basically they run.
Billions.
Together, we've been rapidly fixing a half a century of disasters, and Biden was there for every one of them.
Throw that
Joe Biden supported NAFTA, China's entry into the world trade. He supported the Korean deal. The Korean deal was so bad. It was so bad. This was a deal that was going to produce South Korea, done by crooked Hillary Clinton.
Crooked Hillary.
This was a deal.
I missed that. I missed that name.
Produce 250,000
Feels like
jobs.
2016 again.
She said, this will be 250,000. And she was right. For South Korea, produced 250,000. For us, we got nothing. We got losses. We got nothing. It was a terrible deal. I renegotiated. Now it's a good deal. And they also gave.
He gets us a better deal.
And want to give mass amnesty for illegal aliens. Biden supported cutting Social Security. He voted for the Iraq War. He opposed the mission to take out Osama bin Laden. He opposed the killing of Soleimani. When I did that, he said, that's a terrible thing.
Because you'd be in jail.
That's a terrible thing. Everybody in the Middle East, they couldn't believe it. They celebrated, some of them quite quietly, I must add.
I got hairy legs.
He oversaw the rise of ISIS, and he cheered the rise of China as a positive development for America and the entire world. Remember
Lock
that?
her up. I missed
now
that.
He's starting to say, well,
I missed those chants. That was the best thing ever.
China owns him. China owns Sleepy Joe.
It's a
He's
mutual
not gonna be
relationship.
tough on China. And he said all these wonderful things, and then all of a sudden his poll numbers started going down. How about law enforcement? He's like so bad. In his entire convention, they didn't even mention. And by the way, something else they did that I think is terrible, really terrible. The words under God, right? Right?
He just goes deeper and deeper.
Right?
He's starting one thing. He's
Called
like,
the Pledge
nope,
of
I gotta
Allegiance.
digress. Gotta
Under
digress
God.
further and
He
further.
left those two words out twice at their caucus, which is part of their convention. Go. But that's where they're coming from. He's trying to say, oh, well, we didn't do this. And then we gave it to him and he sort of shut up. But then 2 days later, he's saying it didn't happen. They lie. And these mail-in
It's all they're
ballots,
capable of.
these mail-in ballots are a disgrace, and they know it.
And they know it.
Sign your mail-in ballot.
We're at 285,
Okay?
folks.
You sign it.
Get it to 300.
And send it
Let's
in,
do it.
and then you have to follow it. And if on election day or early voting, that is not tabulated and counted, you go vote. And then if for some reason after that, it shouldn't take that long, it comes in, they're not going to be able to tabulate it because you will have voted. But you have to make sure your vote counts, because the only way they're going to beat us is by doing that kind of stuff. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. They want to send out, Congressman, 80 million ballots. Now, there have been many races over the last year where they've done this, and they've been a disaster. You look at New York, they had a congressional race, not a very good congresswoman, very untalented. I know her well. I lived in New York. She's not got much going. They have no idea what the vote is. I think 20% of the ballots were missing. And then they declared her the winner. And the other guy saying, what about me? He's not too happy.
What about me?
Her opponent. You look at what happened in Paterson, New Jersey. You look at what happened in Virginia. You look at what happened. There's not a race. And these are small. These are easy to control. Now they want to send out 80 million unsolicited. I like it much better. They used to say universal. They used to say live ballots. I like the word unsolicited and solicited. Solicited's okay, because that's when you're asking and you want it, then you send in the necessary paperwork and documentation,
Yes.
and you get the ballot.
Please hit
and
that
you
like
fill it
button,
out.
folks, and make sure you share it to
That's
your social
okay.
media.
But you can't, this whole thing with the unsolicited. Unsolicited means you're sitting there. You know, we have a big enthusiasm edge. But when they throw these things in
a
your
big,
face,
it's
and the lists are inaccurate,
100 to
and
0.
people are dead,
100%.
and dogs have gotten ballots. They have. Dogs have gotten ballots. And they know I'm right, and everybody knows I'm right. And they say I'm right behind the closed doors. And it's a disgrace what they do to our country. 80 million unsolicited ballots. People that had no idea. People that weren't going to vote, in all fairness. It's really unfair because our people have
You can go to
enthusiasm.
Walmart, you
They're
can
going
vote.
out to vote. They're all going out to
Come
vote.
on, man.
Everybody here going to vote? Everybody?
You better.
But they have no enthusiasm. I said, so that's unfair. That guy walks and then he'll have somebody knock on the door, say, listen, would like your ballot. I don't want to vote. I don't care about Biden. I'm a Democrat. I don't care about this guy. Well, look, where is it? Here, take it. Blah, blah, blah. They even have a provision where you don't have to verify signatures. What is going on? And they have another provision in some states where you can harvest. That's where you grab them all together and drop them. And in Nevada, they actually have a provision where they don't have to be counted till 7 days after the election. So that means if we have a close election, could be close. I hope it's not. I hope we have a landslide like you've never seen. But if we have a close election, that means Nevada has the right to, and I love Nevada. I think we're going to win Nevada, except where they're sending all these hundreds of thousands, millions of unsolicited ballots to people in Nevada and people that probably left a long time ago. It's very unfair. It's a very unfair. But think of it. They have 7 days after the election.
Look
Did
at
you
that
know that,
sun.
Mike?
It's already gone.
7 days. What does that mean? I want to see the results of the election on November 3rd.
Is that too much to ask? Really?
And by the way, if it's anything like these other events, it could go on forever. I mean, the congressional race, which they just gave up and they declared her a winner, which they should not have done. They should make that do-over. And I think in Paterson, they have a do-over.
Just give up.
I think they're going to do it over because it was just ripe with fraud, theft. People were selling ballots. People were selling ballots. And, you know, they talk about Russia. They're so worried about Russia. What about sending out 80 million ballots? That's your real problem.
Yeah.
And you know, if Russia or China or these other countries want to cheat, all they have to do is forge ballots. It's much easier than the way they have to go about it, right? So we have to put pressure on these people. Now, the good news is we have a lot of court cases. We have one in Pennsylvania. You know that, right? And we have two judges. We have a state judge. We have a federal judge.
We're at 289, just a little bit away. Make sure you hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. 11 likes out.
They're not too happy about what they're seeing. So we'll see what happens. We're going to see what
hit
happens.
300.
The lawyers feel very confident, but we have to win those cases. But what you have to do is send in your early ballot and then go and make sure that ballot is tabulated or counted. And if it's not counted, vote. And then they have the job, if it comes in late, and if it's not too late, they have the job of making sure that they don't count it. But follow that ballot, because these people, they'll be lost, they'll be gone. The numbers are incredible, where they're 25 and 30% off, 20% off. Follow your ballot. When I banned travel from China, Biden called it hysterical and xenophobic. If we had listened to Sleepy Joe, hundreds of thousands of more Americans would have died.
Oh, Sleepy Joe.
He always gets up today. COVID-19. I said, Joe, look, we got a country, and I agree with that, and we've done a hell of a job.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost there. Who's going to be number 300? Are you going to be number 300? Claim it.
But you got to start talking about the economy. And you got to start talking your place. I mean, this is when you look at Pennsylvania, you're in a shutdown. You have a governor that has you shut down. That's right. I didn't even think about it. You have a governor that has you shut down.
It's crazy.
That's right. And almost
somebody's
all states
very upset.
Open. And frankly, their numbers are very good. You look at Florida's down, way down. Arizona, which had a spike, way down. California, Texas is going way down. They're all way down. You haven't even opened up the great Commonwealth. Well, you have the same thing in North Carolina, and you have the same thing in Michigan. What she's doing to Michigan is sad. And, you know, you have death with a shutdown. You have depression.
Yes.
You have drugs.
Suicides have skyrocketed.
You have
it's disgusting.
Sickness. You have loss of jobs, and people. You have suicides. Don't even think about it. But you have suicides. You have a tremendous. There's actually at this stage, we did the right thing. We closed the country down. We studied it. We learned about it.
What are y'all doing? Are you trying to get to 300 or not?
Old people, senior citizens, nursing homes, people that are old, especially if they have heart problems or if they have diabetes. We know that. We learned it. And we opened it up. But the problem, the shutdowns are causing much bigger problems. You remember my original statement, right? The cure can't be greater. You know.
Do we have protesters
here? An
here?
original statement that a lot of people picked up, but it's so true. You have to open up this Commonwealth. It has to be opened up. It has to be opened up now. But here's what I think they're doing. Because you have the same thing in New York. We have a governor in New York who's 36,000 people died, 11,000 people in nursing home because he made a mistake. He made a horrible mistake. And I built him a convention center with 2,800 beds that they didn't use it. And I sent up a ship, a great hospital ship, a massive
We're at 298, just two more likes. Get it in there.
Hundreds and hundreds of rooms, and they didn't use it. And he requested it. And then I said, you're not using it. Why aren't you using it? He could have put those people.
Oh my God, you guys are terrible.
The convention center, in the hospital ship. What a shame.
Come on.
But you look at New York, the restaurants are all closed. It's so sad for me. I love New York. You know, I grew up in New York. I love New York.
Apparently we're one away. We're at 299.
So
somebody claimed that 300. It's there for the taking.
It's all politics.
Oh, we hit it. Who's number 300?
Somebody, they don't prosecute you, but they go after political enemies.
Who's number 300? Say it in the chat.
What's happening in New York is a terrible thing. And the place is dead. No restaurants. A restaurant, poor guys. You can't. How long can you do this for? The people are going to lose their jobs. They're
I'm waiting
never
for
going to
somebody
open
to say,
again.
"I'm
It's not like
300."
the restaurants is the greatest business in the world. It's a hard business. New York is closed. You're closed. North Carolina's closed. Michigan's closed. All Democrats. And let me tell you what's going to happen. On November 4th, they're going to announce their opening. They're doing this for political reasons. They are. Right, John? They're doing it for political reasons because they
Samuel
want
Wessel
our
says it was
numbers
me.
to look as bad as possible.
Thank you, Sam.
Going into November 3rd, Election Day. And then as soon as the election's over with, win, lose, or draw for them, they're gonna open it. They got nothing. And you know what? It's a shame what
Wouldn't
they're
it
doing.
be funny if we
for
hit
political
400?
reasons, they'll be open.
That'd be
You'll be
cool.
open on November 4th. But you know what? From your standpoint, it's very close for the election. It's very far. If you have a restaurant and you can't open your restaurant, you can't open your store. It's a disgrace. And they ought to get together. They ought to do it. These are Democrat governors in all instances and Democrat mayors. When the China virus arrived, we launched the largest national mobilization since World War II. Thanks to the life-saving therapies that we pioneered, the mortality rate has been reduced by 85% since April. Think of that. And we've achieved among the lowest case fatality rates of any major country anywhere in the world. You never hear that from the fake news. They don't want to talk to you about it.
Billions.
And this is a big country. This is a tougher country to do that with. The European Union's case fatality rate is nearly 3 times higher than ours. And if you look now, Spain is having a big blow up. France is having a big blow up.
Big blow up.
No, we've done a great job. We haven't been given
China
credit for it.
virus.
And he always starts off, COVID-19. That's all he knows, COVID-19. I said, what about the economy? What about jobs? What about all the other things we have to do? All he does, he thinks it's a weak spot. And actually, in theory, if we're getting a fair shake from those people back there, it's actually what the job we've done is actually a strong spot. And that includes you people with the ventilators that nobody had. Nobody that needed a ventilator didn't get a ventilator. Now we're supplying them all over the world. Altogether, the nations of Europe have experienced a 30% greater increase in excess mortality than the United States. Think of that. You don't hear these numbers. Cases in the U.S. have declined by 28% nationwide over the last month, and hospitalizations and deaths have declined radically over the last week. 3 vaccines are in final stage of clinical trials. Would have taken 2 years for another president. I was going to say a normal president, but they'll hit me with
Yeah, they will.
a little truth to that, too. No, but for another president, especially, you know, in the last administration, they had the H1N1 pandemic.
H1N1. What's
Swine
that?
flu. You know, Joe always calls it the N1H1. He gets it mixed up. No, it's the H1N1, Joe. Not that it matters, I guess.
No, Sleepy
No,
Joe.
do you ever notice? He's always calling it the other. He calls it the opposite. He has no clue where he is. But he keeps saying, oh, if he was. Well, he didn't want to ban China. And we saved hundreds of thousands of lives by banning China. I was the only one that wanted to do it, actually. And then we banned Europe because I saw what was happening in Italy and Spain and France. And we banned Europe. We saved hundreds of thousands. And if I didn't do the closing and the opening, so we're at 175,000, far too. Look, 1 is too much because this was given to us by China, and it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. They could have stopped it. They stopped it from going into China, but not going to the rest of the world, including our country. It's a disgrace. But think of it. Joe Biden got the worst marks you've ever seen for his handling of the H1N1 swine flu. They said it was incompetent. And the head guy, who now he's trying to retract, it's a little tough. That's one great thing about the tape. He said it was horrible. He said we did a horrible job. He said they got lucky. It's not contagious like this. This is a tough one. I can look at that guy, he'll catch it right there, and he's very far away from me. It's a tough one because it's so contagious. But the swine flu is a different thing. But also, nothing's easy about that, pandemics or epidemics. And his marks, take a look at the job they did. It was so bad that their top person criticized it, and they went after him. They said, don't ever say that again. But it's a little late. He said it was one of the worst jobs. And we actually had a Gallup poll where we got very high marks for the job we did. And they had a poll where it was so low, it wasn't recordable.
Ooh.
And then he's coming along and telling us how to solve this very difficult problem.
Just like his mental
We've
capacity.
done a great job. And I don't want credit, but I want the people, Mike Pence, I tell you what, our vice president, Mike Pence, and the task force
Snackies
headed
for
up
Trump.
by Mike,
I'm
and
starving.
working along with a lot of great people. They've done a fantastic
Wrap
job.
it up,
and
Trump.
they
I need
just
to
get
eat dinner.
credit. If I
or
was
something.
a Democrat, a different president, and they did the same job, they'd say it was one
Go
of
ahead,
the greatest
Fabian.
jobs they've ever seen. But take a look at what they say
not
about
showing
the
that
way
on
they
screen.
handled the swine flu. It was a disaster. It was incompetent. They called themselves incompetent. They called them, and now they're coming in like, well, we would have done this. And Biden, by the way, was totally against, remember? Xenophobic, racist, because I closed down China. And then 2 months later, 2.5, 3, and Nancy Pelosi was having dances in Chinatown, right? A month later. No problem. I was way ahead. And then
Trump
Biden
did
comes
nothing.
out, and he actually said that I was right. But they said, don't say that. Try doing it a little softer than that. So he did it a little bit softer. But we were right. They were wrong. They handled it so badly. Just take a look. Because I said to my people, we've got to fight this a little bit differently because we're getting a lot of fake news, a lot of bad people saying things. And you look at the stats and you look at how we've done compared to really much easier and much smaller countries.
Stop.
It's amazing. And if you took New York out of it, which was a disaster by Cuomo, if you took New York out of those numbers, we would have numbers that would be even better than they are. I could read numbers that would be even much better.
I have no idea.
There's a big percentage
I'm out of
of the
biscuits
people that died
for
in this
post-stream
country
snacks.
died because
You guys
New
know
York
that?
was incompetently run by Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo. And by the way, just today, there's another incredible thing happening. Pfizer, great company, announced that it expects to have the results of its vaccine trials in a matter of weeks, very shortly. Incredible. Under Operation
Thanks,
Warp
DE,
Speed,
once
we
again,
remain on
celebrating
track to
300
produce a
likes.
safe and
He
effective
says MAGA,
vaccine
he or she.
in that record time that we talked about. This would have
Says
been
MAGA.
years later. It will be delivered before, in my opinion, before the end of the year, but it really might even be delivered before the end of October. How do you like that? Wouldn't that be nice? That would be nice. And you know why? Not because of the election. Be nice because we want to save people. That's why it'd be nice. That's the important thing. Together, we will defeat the virus. The job we're doing is the job that all of the people working on it, our generals, our admirals, the distribution. We bought billions and billions of dollars of things, and
He's
now
making
we
it too
make
easy.
gowns,
Billions.
we make masks, and we make shields, and we make ventilators. Very tough. The ventilators very complicated,
Taco
very
Bell
big, very
run.
expensive. It's like I made the statement. It's like building a car, but more sophisticated. They said, "No, it's not." And they said they took a ventilator, they took it apart. They did. These people are the worst, the worst. Over the next 4 years, we'll make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we will end our reliance on China once and for all. That's what we're doing. And let me just tell you something. If they didn't waste a year and a half of my life on a ridiculous impeachment based on a phone call that was perfect.
Perfect phone
this stuff
call.
would have all been done. It would have all been done.
Perfect phone
Really?
call.
It would have
Get that
all
out of
been
here.
done. And yet, with all of the stuff, the fake Russia witch hunt, the fake Ukraine, how about that? Did anybody read the transcript of that call? It was a perfect call. Hey, congratulations, good luck. It was like a perfect call. Now they'll take it back and they'll say, well, I don't know. This was a perfect, in history, there's never been anything like this. It was a totally lopsided, 100% political witch hunt. And it goes on and on. These are bad people. I really believe they don't love our country. I watched Nancy Pelosi. You must wear your mask. You have to wear your mask. And we're going to keep every beauty salon closed in California and all over the country. And then I see a picture. I say, Nancy Pelosi, well, where's her mask? And I'll tell you what, She must have treated that beauty salon owner pretty badly. She uses the salon, and the salon turned her in. The salon turned her in. I don't think I would have turned her in. I would have said, well, you know, she's a customer. I got to take care of my customers, right?
Yeah, Taco Bell was trending
But
today.
she
I
made
forget.
them open, and the salon turned her in, and the salon did business with her. How much do they hate Nancy Pelosi? Look at her.
Bad.
And then she made a terrible mistake because you want people that can't be set up. She said, I was set up by the salon owner. I was set up. I said, tell me she didn't say that, please. So I just put out that if she was set up, then she shouldn't be leading the House of Representatives. I want the salon owner to lead the House of Representatives because she set up, think of it, she set up the Speaker of the House.
Go steal
That was a
Pelosi's
big
ice cream.
mistake. As soon as I
Could
heard
steal
she
her
said,
wig and sell
well,
it for
she
money.
set me up.
Sell it for food.
Nancy, you're not supposed to get set up. You're representing our country. You know what she should have done, honestly? She should have said, I made a mistake. Sorry. And nobody would be talking about it. This is like the biggest story. This is the big crazy Nancy. Highly overrated person. Let me just say, she is a highly overrated person. They give her such good play. She is a highly overrated person. Look, they just turned off the camera because they don't want me saying that. So just in closing, we will rapidly return to full employment, soaring wages, and record prosperity. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, surge federal prosecutors into high-crime communities, and ban sanctuary cities. We will appoint prosecutors, judges, and justices who believe in enforcing the law, not their own political agenda. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms.
He's getting at it.
We will strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens. We will not let them threaten our citizens. And we will keep America out of endless foreign wars. We will end surprise medical billing. We don't want surprise medical billing. You know what happens. It's terrible. But we have ended it. And also, we've signed
Sadly, he
something
can't go
that's
for 3
incredible.
whole
You're gonna
hours
see.
this
Some
time.
people say it's bigger
It's
than
just not right.
healthcare, and I signed it. Unfortunately, it takes place on January 1st.
$27,000 refrigerator of ice cream. Trump says, you better elect me. Get it done.
It's called price transparency. I said to my people the other day, when is price
4 more years?
transparency?
Nah,
This
4
is
more
gonna lower your
terms.
prices by 50%.
Trump
You'll be able
forever.
to negotiate. You'll be able to do things you're not even allowed to do now with hospitals, with doctors. You
I
get
like how the
better
comment right
doctors,
before
you get
this is
lower
term
prices.
limits.
I said, when does it start?
Let's get
And
rid of
it's
these people.
complicated. Oh, I was fought? You have no idea. Right, fellas? You were fought too.
Apparently, I have a
But they
steak
fought
sub
me on
waiting
this.
for me after this
Price
stream.
transparency
So let's
is bigger
get
than
this
healthcare.
over
It could be
with.
bigger than healthcare. But I said, when does it start? They said, sir, we have it all set. When? January 1st. I said, I better win this election. Because you're going to see some unbelievable price reductions. And that includes on drugs.
If Biden gets to take the credit for that, I'm going to be
insurance
mad.
premiums massively, and the cost of prescription drugs went down the first time in 51 years last year. But now it's going to go down very big because we did a favored nations clause. And I see the drug companies they're killing me
4
with
more
ads. They have
terms.
nothing but cash. They have nothing but money. And they're spending because they can't believe. You know, Germany and other countries pay much less than we do. And we want to have, what we have to have is we have to have a comparison of prices. And that's what it is called favored nations laws. I instituted a favorite. So if we're paying $2.50 for a pill and some nation is paying 10 cents for the same exact pill from the same factory, right? we get the 10-cent price. So what's going to happen? That'll go up. Ours will come way down. They can't believe it. The drug companies can't believe. And I will tell you, Mark Meadows is here, our chief of staff. Where's Mark?
Where's Mark? He does that every single time.
They want to.
We have insert name here.
We
Where's
signed it. It's all done.
here?
They want to negotiate, and they are negotiating. So let's see what happens. But we're going to get you cuts on prescription drugs, the likes of which you've never
I don't know.
seen.
I mean, Emperor
We'll
Trump has a
protect
nice ring
Medicare
to
and
it.
Social Security, they will not be able to protect it. It will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions, always. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. When I took over, NASA was dead. Now it's the most vibrant space center in the world by far. We will restore patriotic education to our schools, and we'll teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Pennsylvania.
For the great people of Pennsylvania. If it was Joe, he'd say the great people of Iowa.
From Pittsburgh to Harrisburg, from Erie to Easton, and from Bethlehem to right here in Arnold Palmer's beloved Latrobe. I love Arnold Palmer. Arnold, where are you, Arnold? We love Arnold. There was only one Arnold. We stand on the shoulders of Pennsylvania patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears for this beloved nation. Pennsylvania is the state where our founding fathers declared American independence, right? Declared American independence. Add the word Commonwealth in there. This way they won't criticize. It's where the Army weathered its brutal winter at Valley Forge, and where General George Washington, who, by the way, they want all of the name Washington removed from everything. I haven't been keeping up with it. What did he do? George Washington, they want the name off, Congressman. Are we okay, Sean? I don't think you like that idea too much. George Washington, they want his name off everything. But we'll keep it. I promise you this. As long as you have cancel culture, you better have a strong president. Cancel culture.
Prepare to be canceled, folks.
Can you believe it? But he
can't
led his
cancel
men
America.
on a daring mission across the Delaware. This is the Commonwealth where our union was saved by the heroes of Gettysburg, and where generations of tough, strong Pennsylvania workers mined the coal, worked the railroads, forged the steel that made America into the greatest and most powerful nation in the history of the world. That's in the history of the world, and we are making it greater than it's ever been before. That's what's going to happen. Proud.
The stream? Oh, okay.
And together we are taking back our country.
Just
from
lost
these
it for a second.
Very deranged people. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help and your devotion and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning.
Yes, sir.
Billions.
Now, Sleepy Joe.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary.
We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. America will soon be thriving like never before. Next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country.
When he says that, I remember 2017. That was a
And together
2021.
we will work very hard. The people of Pennsylvania, the great, great people of Pennsylvania, where I went to college.
2021 is
It's a
the new
place I know
2020.
very well.
The actual start of the Roaring
But we
20s.
will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again.
Mm-hmm.
We will make America proud again.
Okay.
We will make America safe again.
All right.
And we will make America great again.
That's
Thank
how you do
Thank
it.
you, Pennsylvania.
That is how you do it. Oh,
Another one in.
All right, everybody, stick around. I know you guys like to jump out right after the stream, but we are going to be doing call-ins on the stream for the next 15 or so minutes. Or I'll go until maybe like 9:20, so maybe a little longer than that. I'll be doing call-ins right on the stream, so I'm actually going to throw this in the chat. If you would like to join the stream, have a live conversation with me, you will have to have video enabled, so show your face and stuff. But if you would like to join us, there's the link right there. You can take that link from the chat and throw it right in. We're going to watch Trump. Hold on, let me mute this. There you go. So right there, you see President Trump shaking hands, waving his hands, all that good stuff. Once again, if you'd like to join the stream, have a live conversation with me right on here for a little bit. Try not to speak for too long, of course, maybe like a minute or 2 minutes. Ask a question. I'll say something back. Or if you just have a comment or anything like that, just let me know. Ellie says Chen needs to eat, so I will eat after the stream, of course. So if you'd like to join me live on the stream, throw that link in right there. Let me also throw this link in the Discord server. Once again, if you have not already, make sure you join the Discord server. I'll throw that one up a little bit later. I'm gonna let you guys join in here, and then I'll bring you in and all that good stuff. Okay, actually, it looks like you don't have to have a video feed. Just get it thrown in there, because yeah, somebody's already joined in here, and you don't even need a video feed. So as long as you have, or you can set it so that it doesn't have video going through, you can get in there. Just make sure your audio is all right. So let me put this back on screen again. Just throw that link into your browser, join in, and I'll put you guys on the screen, and we'll have a conversation for a little bit as we watch Trump. Oh, where's he going? I wasn't even looking back there. Okay, he's going right up under there. Let's get this going. I think we have a lot of people that are very excited to get in here. I can't wait to speak to all you guys. You guys have been asking to do a call-in stream for a long time. This is when we're doing it. We're getting it started now. Who's going to call in? We're going to have you guys, if you guys want to call in. Big shout out to Suno. He or she sends a $10 super chat and says, steak sandwiches. I have a steak sub waiting for me after the stream right in my room. So I'm excited for that. I'm so hungry, but I want to talk to you guys first before we wrap things up completely. Take this off. I want you guys to get in here. So take that link, throw that in the chat, or throw that in your browser, I should say, your phone browser. If you're on an iPhone, make sure you're using Safari. If you're on an Android phone, any browser should work. And of course, if you're on a computer, just throw this. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me bring it back on screen. Just throw that. Oh, that's the wrong thing. This one, just throw that screen, that link into your browser, and it should work great. I hope you guys all hop in here. Yep, we've got some people getting in here. Thank you all. All right. We're going to bring our first person on. So let me take this off the screen for a second. Just remember, if you need that link, screenshot it or something, and then throw it in there. All right, let's get this going. What's going on, Davlin?
Hello, darling. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm doing just fine. I just love listening to him talk. And, you know, it's pretty cool that he can do this all without a teleprompter. He just talks to people, where Joe Biden has to read off a screen, or he doesn't know what he's talking about. He can't even make a full sentence. It's pathetic.
Are you the same Davlin from the chat?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. It's so nice to speak to you. Thank you for all your support. You sent super chats too, right?
Yeah, and I had just joined Discord. I had talked to you last time. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Davlin is like the model free thinker, guys. You want to be a good free thinker, be like Davlin.
Oh, absolutely.
Join the Discord, participate in the chat, join these call-ins. So shout out to everybody hopping in here. Thank you for tuning in as well.
And I do listen to you because you actually give me hope for the next generation, because it's kind of terrifying. Like, you go to all these college campuses and they have no thought process. All they do is get in your face and scream and tell you what to think. It's terrible.
Yes. That's exactly what I've been. Yeah, that's like why I'm doing everything I do, because I know there's plenty of adults like you that are thinking, especially when you look at this generation, you look at the college students, all those people, you're really thinking, well, where's this nation going? I don't know if we're still going to make it for the next 20 years. Ronald Reagan said the loss of democracy and freedom in our republic is never.
It's one generation.
Never more than a generation away. And so I'm here to show you guys that America isn't doomed, and that there is still hope for our future. And that's exactly what I've been doing all this for.
I really do think that there is a lot more kids like that who are smart enough to see past the lies. And I feel that the people who are screaming the loudest, they're the ones who are getting put up to the forefront. And these are the videos that are being shown to make people think that there's no hope for America. And, but I do think there are a lot of more people like that. Hopefully, I just don't understand how anybody with one brain cell could ever think of voting for Democrats. I could understand before. Like Clinton, I didn't mind Clinton. I thought Clinton was a great president. I don't care what he did in his own personal life. And if I was married to Hillary Clinton, I probably would look elsewhere too. But that's just me. And he wasn't a bad president.
Yeah, I wasn't, of course, I wasn't even alive or even a thought when Clinton was anywhere near the Oval Office. And I haven't done a lot of research into his, I haven't done a lot of research into his administration, but I definitely do think it's important to separate the ideas of what someone does in their personal life than from what they do in their public political life. However, I do believe it is important to know. And some people that judge things off of personality, like a lot of people did, especially back then.
And the one thing about Hillary in 2016 was she was so passionate about getting young people to vote for her and people who are just now voting for the first time. And the reason she did that is this woman has been so corrupt for such a long period of time that the people she was trying to get to vote for weren't alive when Bill Clinton was president. And she was corrupt before all of that. And
that's just sad.
It really is. And all I can hope is that America is smarter than the Democrats think we are. I just find it mind-blowing that they can say all of these horrible things and they actually think that that people believe what they're saying. I don't understand why we haven't fought back against Cuomo saying that he needs the army to come into New York. When people are leaving New York at alarming rates, and Nancy Pelosi can say whatever she says, and there's no repercussions, and how Madonna can say she can blow up the White House, and Johnny Depp saying he wants to assassinate a president.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, but if you look
at... As long as you're a Democrat, you can say what you want
as long as you're a Democrat. But if you look at the landscape, you can definitely see that enthusiasm for President Donald Trump is as high as it's ever been, and it will get even higher. And like Trump said, 2021 is going to be an amazing year for the economy. The invisible enemy will be long defeated by then, we can hope. And I can't wait to see what we've got from that year. Thank you so much, Davlin, for calling in. And I hope to see you again in the future next time I do a call-in screen. There's call-in stream. I'm mispronouncing my words again. Thank you for being in the chat, and I'll catch you next time, Davlin.
Alrighty, baby. Have a good one.
You too. Our next guest to join us will be Joey. So thank you for tuning in, Joey.
Hey, man. Good to hear from you.
It's great to hear from you as well. What do you want to talk about?
Nothing. I found your Discord almost like a week ago, and I've been loving working in the Discord with people. I have a lot of leftist friends, and now I'm realizing how just insane they've gotten, and just how I thought there was no community there for me, and now ironically it's I'm seeing now what all the things that are out there.
Are you Gen Z?
I don't even know what I am because they keep changing the definitions. I'm 27 years old.
What year were you
it's
born?
93. They kept changing the year.
Millennial.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
Gen
I hate
Z
it.
starts 1997, but
that's
still,
right.
No matter, I accept millennials as well. We all need to come together because we all fight for the same thing. We all stand for this nation, and it's important that young people have an outlet for their conservatism. A lot more young people than they actually believe are conservatives or are libertarians or are right wing or actually believe in this nation and stand for the Constitution, stand for everything we stand for. And they need a community to reach out to and get involved. I actually want to ask you something. What is your name on the Discord?
It's Red Hair Joe.
Yes. Oh, Red Hair Joe.
Yes,
I was just talking to you. Yeah. I complimented your profile picture as I liked it. Yes. I just saw you over there. Okay, good. I didn't know because the name is Joey and it's different. So I was not quite sure, but it's nice to speak to you again. And I actually have to give a big shout out to everybody. You guys need to hop up in the Discord over there. Or if you have grandchildren or children that you know are conservative but don't really have an outlet for it, tell them about me. Tell them he's got a thing called the Discord. If you see their eyes light up, they're going to be like, how do you know about Discord, Grandma? How do you know about Discord, Grandpa? Or something like, how do you know about Discord? You'd be like, well, Chandler Crump told me. Chandler Crump spreading the virus of intelligence. You need to hop up over there. Do you have any last final comments for the night for everybody tuning in with us before we move on to our next caller, Joey?
I'm willing to be there for all of you because I see now that America truly is a place for all peoples, and we need to embrace that for everyone.
Definitely, very true. Thank you for tuning in. Very wise words, and I hope to catch you next time, Joey. Thank you.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Yep, great. Our next speaker guest is Dylan is chilling. So Dylan, I'm gonna watch you get up and ready. I think he's one of our Discord moderators. So let's get Dylan in here. What's going on, man?
Hi Chandler, good to see you.
Hey, nice to hear from you too. I don't think I've ever heard your voice.
Well, we've been in a few calls together.
Yes.
But
Dylan is a longtime member of the Discord server. I'm glad to see some very good Discord engagement on this stream. We've had a ton of people from our Discord just pulling up, and it's been amazing.
Bobby G is a G.
Bobby G, he's probably gonna get elected as our next senior chat moderator recruit for sure.
He should. He deserves it.
He's had some amazing engagement. He's been great in the community. What you want to come on and talk about today?
I don't know. I just want to.
If you guys are calling in, you got to have at least something.
Okay, no. I have something to talk about. Okay, so I'm glad that we're able to kind of give hope to the older generations about Generation Z sort of being the hope for America. I'm just glad that we're able to kind of give hope to those older generations, and I'm just wondering from your experience, I guess, how we would be able to get more Gen Z people to kind of join the Republicans and join conservative movements.
Okay, so
I just want to know.
This is a question that I think if I haven't been asked before, I've been waiting for somebody to ask it because it's a very important thing to say. When you look at the left wing, what is the first thing you always see that they're out there supporting as fast as they can?
Probably Antifa.
Okay, well, aside from Antifa, I guess I'll give you the answer for you. It is the youth. They have been attacking and getting at the youth for as long as they can. And so that they are able to get at your emotions before you really have any of your brain fully processed. So it's easy to get at the youth. And so for all these years, the conservative movement and the Republican movement has given up on the youth. But now that is in the year 2020 or 2018 to 19, we have seen a rising youth engagement on the right because we have this thing called the internet, which allows everybody to educate themselves and do their own research. And doing your own research is one of the most important things you can do. So when you do the research, you'll find all these truths about the Democrat Party, about the left wing, that really make you go to show, wow, this is what a lot of my peers stand for. This is what I possibly used to stand for. This is what a lot of other people believe. I can't stay with this. So they wake themselves up, they red pill themselves, and they become a free thinker. And sometimes they want to spread it to other people. They want to spread the virus of intelligence. So what the conservative and Republican movement needs to do is they need to reach out to young conservatives like myself or other people out there who are outspoken about their political beliefs and promote them, support them, get them out there, get them on that stage. There are a lot of well-spoken young conservatives that believe things that the Republican Party or that the conservative movement believes, and yet they don't get any shine because in the eyes of a lot of the conservative leaders, they may not know as much. But that should be okay. Not knowing about politics should be okay because there's a difference between ignorance and stupidity, or ignorance and being a less intelligent person. Because ignorance is not knowing something. But what we strive for in life is to learn, is to become more knowledgeable, is to acquire this thing that enriches our brain. When you do this and you acquire that virus of intelligence, you are able to speak on more things. You are able to get out there and support what you support, your core values, your core beliefs. So if the conservative Republican movement wants to get Generation Z believing in their core beliefs, if they want to get Generation Z believing in the Second Amendment, they want to get Generation Z believing in America, they want to get Gen Z believing in the First Amendment, they want to get Gen Z believing in positivity and hope, then this is what that is what they need to do. They need to reach out to every single young conservative out there and say, we see you, we hear you, we support you, we want you to learn, and we want to give you this platform so that you can reach out to all those other kids out there, all those other teenagers out there, or all those other Gen Zers in general, some of them that are even adults, that may not believe the same thing as you do, or may, and show them that it's not only the general old person, or if you want to get racial about it, old white person out there, because it's a diverse movement. It really is.
Right.
But you really have to get out there and show it. There's Black youth conservatives. There's Latino youth conservatives. I'm not trying to get all intersectional here, but it is important to show that we come in all colors, all sizes, all shapes, and most importantly, all ages. If you want to get out there and you want to change the future, it starts with us because we are the future. You gave me a good thing to run off of, Dylan. Thank you so much.
That was great, man. That was
Yeah.
great. Yeah, for a while, I was a little concerned about the future of the Republican Party, how things might turn out for the party itself, because it feels like it's almost kind of the support is almost decreasing as the generations go. But as of recently, I've been more hyped up about it. I've been more confident about it, more hopeful.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
as the years continue, and if hope to God Donald Trump gets elected for a second term, I feel like that support will rise even more, and I think things will turn out pretty good.
I
And
definitely agree with you.
I think when Trump continues these speeches, like what he's been doing, like what we just watched, the support is going to grow even more.
Yes. I definitely agree with you. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
calling in.
Thank you.
And I'll catch you next time, Dylan. And definitely make
Yeah,
sure you
see
join
ya.
the Discord server if you haven't already. Our next caller is Lilu. Thank you so. I almost hit the wrong one. Thank you so much for calling in, Lilu. What's going on?
Hi, how can you hear me? I dropped my computer, so my speaker's kind of messed up.
Well, as long as you have headphones in, so it's not reverberating, but the audio sounds great right now. What do you
Oh,
want to talk
okay.
about?
Okay, I'm glad. Well, I wanted to talk to you about a documentary I just discovered not too long ago, and it's called Emancipation, Revelation, Revolution. And it's an eye-opener about the true history of the Democrat Party and the Republican Party. And so I wanted to tell everybody that's listening to look it up, to go look at it. Just type, don't go to Google because they censor everything, but you can go like to Quant or First Page, even Bing, and type Emancipation, Revelation, Revolution. And you're going to see a lot of small, little video clips. And it is, I have learned so much about the history of the Democrat Party, because I used to lean Democrat. And I used to always think, oh yeah, the Republicans, they're all the white, rich, racist. But it's not true, because one of the things that I learned is that the Republican Party was founded as an anti-slavery party. It was founded by 100 and some free black slaves and about 20, 30 abolitionists, white abolitionists. And when that party was founded, they started gaining a lot of political power in the United States. And the Democrats, they didn't want Black Americans to have any power. So they founded the Ku Klux Klan, and they started attacking conventions so that they knew which whites were abolitionists. And that's the history that I think the Democrats are wanting to hide. And the whole thing about destroying all the statues, they are destroying their history, because really I found out, like, it's not the white people that are racist, it was the Democrats. The Democrats were the ones.
Yes.
And it's an eye opener, and it's hard, it's hard to see that the terrible history of the Democrats,
Yeah. That sounds like a very nice documentary. I'll definitely be sure to do some research on it and possibly watch it. You speak on a lot of truth right there. The Democrat Party has nothing but hate and racism in its history, and that's something I believe we really need to clearly see, and I believe that is something we do see. The Democratic Party has some very fundamental problems that need to be solved before we can ever really support them, and I don't think it ever will be solved. The Democratic Party has stood for failure for all these years. Every time you elect a Democratic mayor or Democratic governor in your city or state, the state just dies. You look at New York right now, and it wasn't doing so hot before the coronavirus, but now you look at it, that state is in shambles because Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio have teamed up together to pull that state and push it deep down into the ground so that it can never recover, because you have all these people being thrown into nursing homes to die. You have all these restaurants that are being closed down because of the forced lockdowns. This has all been an orchestrated effort to win the election, and yet these unintended consequences of Americans losing their lives, or Americans that have lost their jobs, lost everything they ever stood for and everything they loved, is all because they wanted to win this election. It's all because they wanted to instoke and make everybody fearful of everything they could be fearful of.
Yeah, and there are people like are shocked, they see Antifa and BLM. man, this has been like their platform since the time that they were founded. And another thing I found is that the Masonic, the Masons are kind of like the forefathers of the Democrat Party. And another thing, there's this girl, her name is Dana Ashley. In YouTube, they haven't censored her yet, but as a minority, I found her channel, doing my own research, and that's what woke me up, is that I started questioning the system, And the other thing is, like, they have erased a lot of history. There's a book that's called White Cargo, and Dana Ashley talks about that. And it's hard for me to even talk about this, because, you're an African American young man, and I don't want to say that, like, the history of slavery diminishes what our ancestors suffered, but the history of slavery is the tragedy of humanity. It's not just the history of one group. And that's, the Democrats have erased all that history because they don't want people to know that they are at the root of every single problem that the United States have ever had. It's the Democrats who have instilled all the problems, and all the stuff that you see today with, like, Antifa and BLM. This is their platform. As soon as they start losing power, this is what they do. They activate people to attack Republicans. This is not the first time that they're attacking and killing Republicans. This is in their platform. This is from the beginning of our country.
Yes, it's very important to look at the platform of what these organizations stand for. And before I wrap up your call, I would just like to comment on Black Lives Matter. If you look at that platform, they stand for the destruction of the Black family. Do you know that the destruction of the Black family is going to kill the idea, is going to destroy our race? The destruction of the Black family will leave the Black race in disarray, because without our fathers, we are nothing. Without our mothers, we are nothing. They want to rip these families to shreds. And that is, it's shameful that we have all these kids out here, all these people out here putting Black Lives Matter in their bio or tweeting out Black Lives Matter because they think they're actually doing something. Meanwhile, while supporting that organization, they're destroying the Black lives of the children that thankfully don't get aborted. They have a higher chance of getting born into a broken home because this organization is saying that Black mothers need to parent in private. They want to break they want to break our families down, and that's something that cannot be forgiven ever.
Yeah, abortion and the Democrats. Another big thing to research what Margaret Sanger really said about babies and aborting them. Oh my gosh.
She has to exterminate us weeds, right?
Exactly.
Disgusting.
Thank you so much for all the work that you do. I'm a little older than a millennial, but I was losing hope. And then I found your channel, and I found Generation Z, and it's given me hope for America. That you guys are so awake. The millennials are just asleep. That I don't know what's wrong with that generation, but it gives me hope for you guys, that you guys, I can't wait for you guys to get to voting age.
Yeah, well, a ton of us are actually already starting to get up to voting age, and I believe soon enough that we're going to overpower the millennial generation in terms of voting power because our population is just larger. There's still a lot of work to be done, and a lot of Generation Z still needs to be converted and infected with the virus of intelligence. But the support of people like you and everybody else in the chat and everybody else that's called in so far or is about to be put on the stream, you guys, I would not be anywhere without you guys. So thank you so much for tuning into the stream. Thank you so much for supporting me, and thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you. You take care. It was great talking to you. Bye-bye.
I will. Same here. You too. Bye-bye. Our next caller we're going to bring on is Rick. What's going on, Rick? Thank you for calling in.
Oh, it's a beautiful Thursday night. It's great to be here.
It didn't click. It didn't click. I saw Rick and I was like, oh, this is going to be some older guy from somewhere in middle America, as the Democrats would call them, flyover states or something. But then I hear that voice and I'm like, oh, this is going to be an interesting conversation.
I'm very, very proud to be here. The Discord's going well. I've been paying attention to the other callers. Some great discussion has been going on. I noticed some discussion of sort of race politics and how racial identity has sort of seeped into the idea of certain voter eligibility and whether or not somebody should be voted for on the basis of their skin color. And I would like to point to, and I'd like to see your interpretation of what I'm about to acknowledge, but I've noticed within certain organizations, Turning Point USA in particular, and certain individuals in particular, that they do similar things to what the Democrats like to do. They like to sort of make race a sort of taboo subject in their advertising. I mean, they have Latino leadership summits, they have Black leadership summits, which I think can be great in organizing specific individuals who the media has made to be anti-conservative, as people who can't necessarily be conservative. But at the same time, I see it as something that sort of delves into race politics. And you have individuals like Rob Smith, who, in my opinion, make it their full identity. I mean, they make it very clear that that is what they are. And again, I feel like it strengthens them, while at the same time it hinders them. I see it as delving into, but at the same time evading. Do you understand what I'm trying to put down? Do you understand what I'm sort of pointing toward?
I think it's a very thin line that you have to walk, and you have to be extremely careful. What Turning Point has done is very similar to what other organizations have done, and I think it's important that you reach out to all sorts of different people, and you make it specific, and you cater what you do to a certain group of people. But you have to walk the line between I'm trying to find the right word, but between doing what organizations do, which is being careful about it, and pandering. What the Democrats more than often do is nothing but pandering, because it's like, oh, Black people like hot sauce, come to our hot sauce leadership conference, or some stupid crap like that. While conservative movements like Turning Point USA or like Blexit, they do like Blexit's doing like a Black leadership conference. You don't hear Democrats doing something like that. You have Turning Point USA doing a Black leadership summit. Yeah. Which of course you have to walk the line and be careful about. But I really do not see a problem with that. I've gone to Latino Leadership Summit. I've gone to Black Leadership Summit. These are communities that I identify with. And it is such, oh my God, I can't tell you. I cannot give the emotion to you. In YBLS 2018, that was my very first Turning Point event, very first political event ever. I've told the story a million times. But when I tell you, when we pulled up to DC and we were driving to check into the hotel, do you imagine the amount of Black people I see walking around that hotel, down the street, on the sidewalk, with MAGA hats on their heads? Can you imagine how inspiring of a sight, just a mental image, being and I know I'm getting way too racial here, but being a Black person who every time you turn on the TV, you're like, if you support Trump, you're an Uncle Tom or something, and you can't even think about putting that hat on. And if you do, you're not Black anymore. They were saying this back in 2018 before Joe Biden was ever relevant anymore. And just imagine that gripping thought that you supporting the president and wearing a MAGA hat disvalued you and made your skin color irrelevant, made you one of them rather than one of us, or made you white instead of Black, when it's really should just be American. But pulling up to that event and seeing all those people out there with those MAGA hats, how powerful, how empowering, how good that made you feel. I think it's important to have these. And I definitely do believe that it's good to point out that there are some similarities, but it's also important to point out that there are some differences, and these differences make or break it. So thank you for calling in and pointing that out. Do you have any final comments to say before I move on to our next callers?
Oh, I was just going to say, I've never been to these events. I'll say that. And the way you describe them, I feel as if that is probably a great feeling. I bet it's a feeling of euphoria to see something like that.
Both for the Black Leadership Summit and Young Latino Leadership Summit. You pull up and it's just like, you see people that you more than likely can identify with things you identify with, believing the same things you believe in, and fighting the same fight that you fight, dealing with the same liberals who say you're not your race anymore if you support the president or other things like that. You feel a sort of camaraderie. And of course, as Americans, I feel that with all sorts of people, but it's definitely a unique feeling with other Black people and other Latino people. Rick,
exactly. All right, I'll let everybody else. Yeah, sorry, I was lagging.
Okay. Yeah, and just a quick heads up for everybody. Rick goes by Changes One Rick on the Discord server. He is the community manager as well as a server administrator. So I want to give a big shout out to him. Thank you for tuning in with us, Rick, and I'll catch you in the Discord server afterwards. Thank you.
Yes, sir. See you later.
And we're actually moving on to another one of our server staff, whose name is Bobby G. He's a very popular member of our Discord server. He's also a moderator. So shout out to Bobby. What you got to say, Bobby?
Is it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Bobby.
Whew. This is crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's
What
up?
you got
What's
to
up,
say?
stream?
What's going on, everybody?
Okay, so I've been waiting to talk to you about this topic for a little while, for a couple weeks. So I, of course, go to a school in a very Californian, very liberal school district.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to know your opinion on, I see a lot of teachers bringing in these liberal speakers into our schools, and they keep bringing us liberal speakers and CNN and all these different very, very blue sources. And I'm just wondering, like, what's your take on that? Because I know there's a very thin line between education and indoctrination.
Yes. Okay. Very good. I also want to give a big shout out to you, Bobby. You sound very good. Bobby, how old are you, if that's not too an embarrassing question to ask?
I am 13 years old.
Everybody, you heard it here first. Bobby G is 13 years old, and yet he sounds a lot like myself, if I do say so. He sounds great. He's a very succinct speaker. Probably, I think better than I was at 13, although who knows, not me. But I actually do want to answer that. It's very important to point out that thin line between indoctrination and what was the other word you used?
And education.
Yes, education and indoctrination. Right. When you have teachers going into the school and teaching your children about the party switch, I think that's way past the point of education, especially when you're informing them about things that simply did not happen. So, you bring up a very good question with that. You have a lot of these liberal speakers coming to schools. You have a lot of these liberal news sources being played. They play CNN in my classes at least once a week. And it was CNN 10, and they try to poise themselves as non-biased, but it's owned by CNN, which literally goes by the communist news network, Clinton news network, concocted news network. I heard people saying in the chat earlier. So you have all these different, news agencies that are directly plugged right into the schools, and all these Democrats who have been directly involved and in control of our school systems for way too long now. You have these deep-rooted and deep-placed liberal ideologies that are running our schools. So not only are they in the public schools of elementary, middle, and high school, but they are infected into the colleges. I believe there's a survey that went out that said like 80 or 90% of college professors, male, female, through all the ages, identify as liberal, identify as left-wing. And yet these are the people who we have educating or I guess we could say educating, but it's really indoctrination and programming of everybody that's going into these colleges and these universities. This is what is happening to you. I believe there was something that went out months ago, and you know how everybody's having these schooling online rather than actually schooling in person.
Oh yeah, my school is completely online.
Yes, completely online. Yes, and so these colleges who were doing that same thing, they actually mandated and said that parents, or not mandated, but you have these teachers coming out to say, parents, we don't want you being in the same room as your kids while we do the education for some unknown reason. We don't know what the reason is, but we all know what the real reason is, so that when these professors indoctrinate you and program you with that drivel that they have going on with that 90% liberal ideology through them all, they don't want the parents being in there to interrupt it and say, hey, wait a second, party switch didn't happen. Or, wait, hey, Abraham Lincoln wasn't a Democrat. I had a teacher try to tell me that Abraham Lincoln was a Democrat. That is when you know it's gone too far. It's very important to draw that line between education and indoctrination. And I think you bring up a very good point of pulling that up. Yeah. Bobby, you're in middle school right now, right?
Yep, finishing it this year.
You're 8th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Bobby is an 8th grader, and yet he's already, that's how old I was when I got into this, Bobby. So big ups to you for being involved and plugged into all this. Thank you for being in the Discord server. Man. It's very important to show that young people are out there, no matter where they are or what race they are or what age they are still out there. They are still young, and they are still fighting for this nation, and they they believe in America. They believe in the future, and they're going to be there to fight for it until their last day, which is going to be a long time from now. So, Bobby, you and I have a long fight ahead, but I know we've got each other. So thank you for tuning into the stream.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you for calling in, and thank you for being in the Discord. And congratulations on that senior chat moderator, because I think you got it.
Thanks, bro. Great stream. And I just want to say to all the doubters out there, my generation, we are young, we are smart, and we are out there, and we are here to support and represent. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bobby. You gave me goosebumps right there. So thanks for calling in. We're going to have one last caller of the night. We're going to be wrapping things up right after this. So Vince says Bobby's more woke than I was in middle school. You guys saw how woke I was in middle school. I think you guys can make the judgment between us two. But I feel like Bobby might give me a run for my money. But once again, thank you for calling in, Bobby. We're going to have one last caller of the night. Shout out to Harrison. Thank you for tuning in, Harrison. What's going on?
Hey, man. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I was just wanting to just talk about how the other side, they're just like putting us down, like our generation. Like, I want to give you some context. I'm 17 right now, and I have multiple friends that are going to vote in this election, and just like hearing what the Democrats have to say about like people our age and calling this like literally Camila, I'm sorry, I always say her name wrong. Harris always like she said in one speech like that we were stupid, and it's just like wow.
Like, who does she think who does she think her main voting target is? Like you're Apple, or let's say I'm trying to give up another, like, what if you're like an eyeglass company? You say people that have messed up eyes, yeah, they're stupid. Well, what are you to gain from that?
Yeah, I know. I have multiple friends that have like ACT scores in like the 30s, and I'm just like, they know what's right. Like, they're going to vote like Republican just because of the morals and just how like honestly, it's been really cool how I've learned like so much through like you and like other people. Like, I think his name is that other dude that just commented. I follow him on Instagram. Yeah, and it's just so informative, and I really like it. Except for the bad thing is that I sometimes get in debates and stuff, and I have to be careful. And like people our age, like there's a lot of like Republicans, just like the liberals are just like, they're just so rough. Like, I sometimes get like harassed for like saying something that's Republican, and like seeing posts on Instagram about like Democrats like voting for like abortion, and like there was like this one picture, I don't know if you've seen it, like about how there was this baby that was like, oh, I don't really know. Let me check it real quick. Hold it up.
Yeah. No, we're seeing a lot of things, especially from these Gen Z liberals, that are really showing their true colors, because deep down in the inside, they are very damaged, toxic people that want nothing but to inflict damage, and inflict their damage and toxins and poisons upon you by throwing hate your way. They want to show up in mobs under your comments with their little fairy comments throwing up in there like, oh, you tried. Don't try again. You know, it's really sad and funny to see what they actually consider an insult. They show up in your comments calling you all sorts of nasty names. I know I've definitely seen it in my direct message requests. They go crazy in there. And I used to sometimes post them up on my feed, but like they send so many messages that it's like impossible to even keep up with them anymore.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can get so many good comments, and it's just the hate comments that stick out. Okay, so I found the post. It's by the government, or the people's government, and it says, this baby is 5 minutes old. They both voted and agreed that it's okay to kill this child 6 minutes earlier. And even if the child survived the abortion, they also voted to still kill it.
Yep. We're gonna keep it comfortable until a decision has been made. Racist Ralph Northam, who either wore blackface or the Klan hood, not sure which one's worse. I don't think he knows which one's worse either, is the one who came out to say that last year. He got an absolute firestorm for it, and that's precisely what he deserved. Racist Democrats like Ralph Northam are precisely the people that we need to make sure are not reelected this year, or are not reelected whenever their elections come around in like 2022 or whatever they were. Whenever that happens, we need to make sure that these racist Democrats who want nothing less than the extermination of as many black people as they can get, or as many babies as they can get, so that we have a lesser race and are therefore more easy to control. We need to get these racist Democrats out of anywhere near any power whatsoever. And I think that's what we got to do, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I read stuff. I'm sorry, I keep saying I read stuff, but
no problem with reading. It's good. Go ahead.
I love to read. Obama like didn't really support like historic like black colleges and like colleges that like Stephen A. Smith went to, and like Trump, I just saw something where he's putting like $500 million towards that, which is good, because that's history.
Record funding for HBCUs.
Like we need those colleges. I love that. I'm so proud that we're.
Hey, you're dragging something on the computer. Don't do that.
Oh, sorry. I'm about to eat, and I got some like grease on my computer. My bad. I had no idea.
Yes, but I it's very important that he got out there and got that record funding for HBCUs. If Trump is a racist president, he's doing a terrible job of it. And if that's what racism really is, if Trump's actions are what racism are, then maybe it ain't such a bad thing. Am I right? I'm gonna get canceled just for saying that. Cancel culture is 100% out there. It's gonna get us all. You're gonna get canceled just for having an American flag on your yard or on your house. That's all I got to say. You have any final words before we wrap things up for the night?
No, I don't. Everybody, I hope you all have a good night. It was fun talking to you, sir, and just God bless you, man.
You're older than me, and you're calling me sir. That's
I
crazy.
had no idea, but that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm 15, by the way. I turned 16 on the 15th, so I'll be like a year younger than you, but you're gonna turn 18 soon to vote. And I'm, I wish I was old enough to cast my very first vote for President Donald Trump. But hopefully, I'll cast my first vote for Don Jr. or Candace Owens or somebody else who runs.
Or Ivanka.
Or Ivanka, yeah, possibly as well. We'll see who runs. We'll see who gets out there. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Yep. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We had a fantastic stream tonight. We watched that Trump stream. We had some fantastic callers. Shout out to Bobby. Shout out to Lilu. Shout out to everybody else. Shout out to Davlin as well. Everybody, we had a fantastic conversation. I love all you guys. It was a great night, great evening, and I can't wait to see you guys all next time we have a stream. If everything goes well, we should be streaming next Tuesday. However, if I don't make Tuesday, I will try to stream Thursday. No guarantees for either, but I'm going to try to stream as much as I can for you guys on that sort of weekly schedule. So let's get some final good nights going on in the chat. I'll throw the little screen up. Just once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me see what our final like counter was for the live stream. Looks like we had 344 likes. Whoa. We almost made it to 400. You guys are amazing with hitting that like button. We hit 100, 200, 300. We nearly hit 400. I think we might hit it next time. So shout out to everybody that's showing up for that. You guys are amazing. You guys are the best. Shout out to everybody that threw up a super chat in there. Rusty Reno, everybody else that threw super chats in there. You guys are amazing. I have so much love and support for you guys. As much love and support as you guys have for me. For everybody that's still here, this is my mask. I know a lot of you guys are undergoing mask mandates, and so you may have to wear them. But if you want to, or if you have to wear a mask, be sure to do it in style. You can check that out in my Teespring. The link is in my description. I'm sure one of my moderators will throw the link up in the chat as well. So if you want to check that out and give that a buy, I believe it's like $15 or so. It might be a little higher than that. I'm not sure. Teespring's kind of weird with the prices, but if you want to check that out and get that, that's how you do it. If you haven't already, make sure you join our Discord server. One last shout out to everybody that called in from the Discord server. That was Bobby and Rick, and I think, Red Hair Joe as well. Shout out to all those people. And once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. And aside from all that, I'll catch you next time, free thinkers. Don't forget to spread the virus of intelligence.